Okay, I'm gonna let them know I'm unmuting, and then we'll get started with the episode. Okay.
Them there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How's it going? Are we doing good?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was informed I had to say yes, so yes, we're
Yes.
doing very
True.
good.
It's true.
Tell
Thanks
them we
for
told
sticking
you
to the
that.
script.
You're doing great.
If we have to say yes, then yes.
Yeah, that's true. We do have a sickly Mark who
doing
could have probably said
great.
no, and would have been fair.
Hello.
I hope you're doing good, pal. How was PAX, everyone? Was it good?
It was dope.
It was dope.
It's
Good.
a lot of fun.
I concur
Good
with
fun.
that statement.
It's too
Yeah,
damn
it
busy.
It was awesome.
Did not expect to be as busy as I was because I was main stage Friday, but then I was also running Kickstarter social media for the weekend. But then I was
Oh,
also
nice.
running a booth for my company.
How did that go?
That's a lot.
It was great. Never again.
No.
I'll do like 2 out of 3 next time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay, yeah,
maybe
fair.
a lot.
Plus, also like
However-
running a booth was dope until I realized people always knew where to find me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Every time I went,
nightmare. That's my
every time
actual
I went to
hell.
see this man, he was busy. People wanted to speak to this man every time.
Weird. So I started just disappearing. I was like, look,
Yeah.
run my booth for me. Here's like $20. Just
Just stand
give
here and
people stuff.
Incredible. Well, it's good to have you all back. Welcome back for, we've had a week off. We also have Brett here as well now, again, helping out guest starring. So we've got a full house. This is the first time we've had a full house with guests as well, isn't it? Because we had Mark
Oh,
for the
yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
No,
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 I
no,
was-
no,
I was
first
here
time.
the very first
when-
one.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But since then, has anyone got anything they want to shout out, or should we get started in the episode?
Let's do it.
Oh, can I do one quick thing? Just
for it.
because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually be there to run it.
Mm-hmm.
But over on twitch.tv/Yogscast, they're doing their big Jingle Jam, which is a huge charity event
nice.
every December. If you go to, it's like Jingle Jam Tiltify. Search, I don't know the link. Search for that and you'll find it. But it's like you pay $35, you get $1,000 worth of games, and it goes to really good causes. They're going to do a High Rollers thing on Sunday. I may be there if I'm feeling better. If I'm not, they'll be doing something without me. But yeah, just go to. It's one of those things where like
get a
even if
lot
you
of
don't,
games.
you get that's it. You get so many games, and it all goes to charity, and it's really good. And the devs give us loads of some really great games in there. Go get it. It goes to charity. You
My-
get a bunch of cool stuff. It's great.
Steam library is full of Yogscast Jingle Jam
games.
games because I
That's true.
donate
She has
every
told me
year,
every
and I
time.
have 5 million games, and I'm like, where the hell did I? Oh, Jingle Jam!
There's
Yeah,
a serious amount in your library.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But they're good. Like you get a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff, maybe stuff
No,
that
they
you
are,
didn't
yeah.
afford to play, and then you play it and you're like, whoa, this is really good.
Yep.
I know like Play Up and stuff is in there because that's a Yogscast game, but yeah, there's loads of stuff.
nice.
It's worthy cause, and you get a cool bunch of games, and it's worth doing, even if you don't, whether it's for High Rollers or anything else, just go and do it because it's good.
Yeah, good call.
That's it. Thank you.
Tiltify Jingle Jam Yogscast games. Go look it up. All right.
Thank you, Joe.
That's okay. may the winds of your nose be good to you, my friend. Let's start off the episode then with a bit of a recap. Does anyone wish to do the recap?
Who was missing last time?
Uh,
I don't even know where it is.
Technically,
Oh,
our- technically,
Yes.
our guest, and technically our yeah, that's it. I did write.
Well, then it looks like we know who has to fucking read it.
Brett, I feel bad that they're nominating you because I wrote this from the perspective of others talking about you. So
So
if you get it wrong,
Part of the
it's-
fun, though-
heard. No, I
Yeah.
like it. It's like
Part of the fun is that you have to adjust what he wrote on the fly because it's about you, and like, can you manage to make that happen?
Mm,
It's a fun little challenge.
mm. God, it's been a while since I've even done the guru voice. I didn't even get to practice yet. So, from my understanding, you all explored the depths of some dreams as gods paid you a visit. And one by one, you were offered boons as tokens of favor from both the gods of Asgard and Olympus. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's a
The
toss.
silence, I will assume, is a confirmation of correctness. Well, myself, I know you assumed that I was missing. So you all went ahead and went towards some darkness with the hopes that you would catch up with me. You used some local wildlife for some testing and learned about a magical darkness that was the blight of the other side, like a moonlit eve. You're about to journey into this darkness where I may or may not be, because even I don't know where I am.
Well, I like
But
the idea. I like the idea that you've met them on the outside. I like the idea that just cut in.
Greetings.
From where we left off last time, we've had a fade out moment. It's kind of faded up, and it's them explaining this story
good.
to you. So no, I like
You're
that.
like,
I like that.
Let me
It's a
get this straight. What I
Do it,
think you
Message
said
me, can
is,
you-
and then you repeat it all back.
Am I,
Hey, look.
am I doing that trailer that let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cutting through.
You've
It's
got
cutting through.
boons from gods.
I like that. It's good. Look, anytime someone's missing, you have to kind of shoehorn someone back into the story. It's always, everyone's kind of got that subtle above their mind, like, oh yeah, of course. I prefer this way. It's good.
I understand, and yes, there is, I believe, a magical darkness on the other side, like a moonlight eve. Well, pleasant that you saw me outside this mysterious cave. Was wondering if you would be willing to journey with me on my adventure. That's fun. I'm not going to do that. It's Guru's adventure now. I was just absolutely, curious of what might be in this cave. You two are about to explore this, correct? And that's my recap. There it is.
That was good. I liked it.
Black
I liked it. Outside, you're all stood outside the actual great kind of bubble itself. Haven't stepped in yet. Haven't journeyed inside, but you can. You've tested it. You've tested the waters with some animals. You made sure that it was safe to journey inside. You've seen creatures which are unaffected by it journey out. So you know that
Not the animal testing.
it was
Let's not phrase it like
some
that.
mild
I
animal
mean, that's
testing.
going to be a constant theme of this campaign: is us using animals to
Yeah.
do like
Yeah.
shit we're too afraid.
Sorry, Tomato. Us or was it or Willoughby? Because I'm pretty sure it was
was
all
us as a
Willoughby sending
collective.
birds in. Okay, it's
I
a
feel like-
collective us.
I
We
feel
were
like
all
Guru
there.
was. I feel like Guru was doing his thing, and he was off in the distance, and he saw you guys, and he's like, "Oh, my friends, hello," and then saw the first animal test, and his hand just went down, and Guru contemplated to himself briefly. Oh dear. Should I? Maybe I could. Just be off. No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, they're okay.
I'm sure it's no harm will come to these animals.
No, they seemed fine. It was okay. They looked okay.
We fed them.
yeah,
We
a
fed
whole
them. They
apple.
got paid.
Oh dear, you fed them an apple. Guru immediately checks his satchel to make sure none of his apples were taken.
Guru, it's like, did you mean to leave your book behind?
I did not mean to.
Oh.
Where is that thing, anyways? I seem
Oh,
to
I have
broken-
it. You left it behind. Well, you had left a note in the book to tell us where you had gone. So I
This
find
is
it
weird,
very
yeah.
strange that you didn't intend to leave it, but you left a message.
And the
in
book
the
was,
report.
like,
Let me
open.
see that. I don't
Conversation
recall.
about
I don't recall
Whether or
such a
not
thing.
it was acceptable to read the entire contents of the book, of which some people in this party did believe it was okay to simply read the entire content.
It was just weird. You left like it
Books
open to
are
a
meant
page.
to be read. Yeah,
And you can't
exactly.
like look
give
at
me
words
the
and not
note.
read.
Give me the note. I believe maybe an imposter of some kind maybe written that.
Oh,
give
I
me the
see.
note.
This is
I
exactly
will
what
give
it was.
here is your book. You can have it.
Joe, I'm reading the note out loud. What does the note say? What note did I leave for my comrades?
That is a great question, Brett.
Oh dear.
fucking
You got
go.
apple juice all on the note. I can't even read this anymore.
My man. DM brain. Yeah, the note was something akin to like, I'll be back shortly and catch up with all of you.
Oh, yes, I did write this note. It was very early in the morning, hopefully. And I am very muddled in the morning
It
when I
was-
first awakened.
It was just so strange because I was awake the entire time.
Yeah,
and
you're
I even
sneaky.
addressed
How
you and
did you
said,
do
"Where
that?"
are you going?" And you dropped your book and stumbled into the woods.
Well, Willoughby, you may have just turned away from me. Fearful of a conversation, possibly, maybe. Because I would have struck one up with you if I saw that you were up, yes. while I was writing this note that I would be back at a moment's time. Yes, I do remember writing you this note, and I thank you for your concern. Did you read anything in the book?
No.
Yes, I read the book.
Oh, what did you think?
It is very interesting. I was particularly interested by the point where you were discussing stealing magic from other people. That was sort of something I gleaned from it, but also just, your notes is very fascinating, all your various discoveries and things that you've had along the way. I thought it was very interesting. It does need a little editing and tidying up, but it's not for me to say. That's up to you when you decide to do whatever it is you're going to do with it. But
Grammar's never been my strong suit, my dear friend, so I understand that. Reading my muddled notes and gleaming some information from that is rather quite impressive. I do not have the best writing out here in the realms.
See, Willoughby was very
it
convinced you would be
published.
upset, but I am glad to see that you are happy that I read the book.
Willoughby,
If I was in his shoes, you'd be dead. I would have taken you out.
you
well,
were
we would have
concerned-
fought, but yes.
You were concerned of my feelings, Willoughby, is that correct?
It's simply, as a scholar to another scholar, okay. At least in the line of work I had, if someone stole the notes and hard work I was working on and read it without my permission before it was legally published and distributed to the masses, that is the equivalent of theft.
Well,
So like if you have like a map in progress, we shouldn't look at it. We don't try to like find our way out with a half-written map. We wait till it is all done and we just stay lost.
This dancing is weird. Willoughby just said ask for permission.
Yeah, no, like if you
permission.
left it, because we couldn't ask Guru for permission, right? Because he was gone and he just like left an open book with a note. So like if you leave a note but you left the maps behind, we shouldn't like look at the maps. Is what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely
Don't.
not. No.
well,
Okay, good. Now I know.
You're free to read my book at any time if you wish. We've been traveling for quite some time, and if you were to glean any knowledge from
4
my
days.
mad writings, you're free to do so. But do give me a bit of a heads up so that I could do, as Judo had stated, a little bit of cleaning up and editing. It is just mad scribblings right now.
Dating fucking.
So do we go into the mysterious darkness or what?
Yeah, it's like right. Look, you could almost touch it, right?
Guru
I mean,
waves at
we
Draven.
didn't really discuss it. We had a game plan once we got in there. We just
Well,
looked inside.
Right, we're looking for the dark elves.
Well, we're going to try to get to the middle, right? We were talking about do we want to sneak in a little bit because they can see inside, it seems like. So we're going to go to the middle and be like, hey, everybody, stop with the darkness.
Wags fingers.
Gotta
Enough of
find the
that, you.
source.
Well,
Like, we know that they have the elves in the trees, like stuck in cages in the tree, right? There's like, I forget how many guards you thought you saw, like 10, I don't know, 10.
yeah, did we have numbers, Joe?
You'd have seen like a few by the main tree area, but probably under 10 in total.
And we saw
wandering
like
the
a
area.
couple coming and going, I think, right?
Yeah,
So we weren't
there was
really
some who were
sure.
moving around,
Yeah.
carrying fruit to different trees.
Oh, yeah. So, do we want to just walk in? Hey, everybody, we can see in your darkness. Do we want to try to sneak a little bit? I can help with that a little bit. What do we want to try?
It's just I already know how the sneaking is going to go. We're going to get to the same spot we'd get to if we walked there, and then we'll get caught or choose to reveal ourselves.
Yeah.
And then I will have spent a lot of energy trying to keep us all sneaky, as will you, Lena. And it just feels like we might
Actually,
as
it
well
doesn't cost me
walk
that much
in.
to try to help people, but that is okay. If you don't want to expend the energy, that is fine.
Maybe we have a couple of those who feel they can be sneaky are sneaky, so that we seem less in number, and if we face opposition, then we have an advantage of some who are hidden and can act in ambush.
And then if we get
maybe those
caught,
who
we
can't,
can be like, I don't know them.
As you're planning this and Guru here stealthy, he slowly begins to disrobe his heavy armor and cloth. And it
Are you
looks like he's about to go in the nude, so that way he can.
What
Are
are
you-
you
are you
doing?
hot?
What are you doing?
You need that.
Mhm. You
You
mentioned.
might need that. If there's a fight,
You're going to need your clothes. Put them back on.
He's like at the first second, he barely took. He's like, but you mentioned stealth, and this is
some
extremely
of
bulky.
us.
Oh. I understand now. Oh, that would have been quite embarrassing. And he just starts to put the robes back on a little bit, tying it up. Just
Right.
correctly.
So in that case, I suppose the walking in group will be myself, Guru, from the look of things, and who else?
I mean, we
As
can
a-
all go. I don't really
As a
mind.
reminder,
Eldridge, you're
Draven-
not the quietest, right? Oh, sorry, Draven. Go.
Draven
go.
has disguised himself to look like a dark elf, just as a reminder.
That's right.
Okay, I did not
I-
remember that.
Okay, Eldred, I know you are not the quietest, right?
No.
Right,
I
me
can,
and you.
I can try, but I'm not. I mean, if Lena wants to maybe use her blessing on me, I can be a bit better. But and then with Draven disguised, and then perhaps I can kind of hide in the shadows a little, and then it gives us something. If anybody does,
I can
if
do
anything
that.
goes wrong, I'll just try and keep quiet and at the back.
So then Lena and Juno sneak in. The rest of us will enter normally. Perhaps under the guise of Draven having taken us hostage. I'm not entirely sure.
Excuse me. I can do that. Okay. I'm
I
going to
don't
do
think
a
we're-
few things too.
Necessarily trying. Are we trying to trick someone? What's your plan with being disguised as a dark elf?
I don't
Maybe
look
just-
like an outsider.
To get
And
farther in,
outsiders
right?
are problems here.
Are you going to continue to be this? Do you have a backstory? What is the plan?
Yes, let us into your world.
The idea is to look like a lion while walking into a lion's den.
Are we not getting to the source of this and then just being like, "Hey, can you stop?"
Seem to have
Are
left
we-
my lion costume back at home. Dear.
All right. How about this?
I do not want them to recognize me at all in this place. If something goes wrong, and
Okay,
we leave
what's
and
your
have
new
left-
name?
You gotta have something. There's not that many dark elves in there. They're gonna wonder who you are.
Am set.
I'm set. Okay. Okay,
So,
I'm just gonna walk.
okay, hold on. I'm going to use Psychic Whispers, and I can do up to my proficiency bonus. So I will do Juno, because she's sneaking with me. We'll do Eldred, because she could talk to somebody else. And then I can do one more person, and we will do, I guess, the Raven, because he's probably going to talk to some folks. Then I'm going to put my hand on Juno. I'm going to be like, Juno, I think you can be pretty sneaky. I'm going to cast Blessing of the Trickster on Juno, and then I'm going to look down and be like, oh shit, hang on. And I'm going to look like a dark elf.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Okay,
you both
thank
disguised
you.
as standard dark elves, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because I guess, yes, because we didn't actually see what anybody on the inside looks like, right? So we're going to just have to, yeah.
Okay.
Will it be
Got
in your
it.
mind? You'll hear. I'm starting a mind link with you. If you want to say anything, or if you have a message for Lena or anyone else, let me know.
Got it.
Also, the Psychic Whispers will last for 3 hours or until you disconnect from the call.
okay.
You're on the outside of the darkness. What would you like to do? I mean, well, Eldred, you said you're walking in. You already walking in now?
Yeah, I wa- As soon as I've got the
little
blessing on, me, I'm going to follow after Eldred and try and move into the shadows.
One moment, please. One moment.
I'm gone.
Before we end. Oh dear. Well, I guess the rest of you, if you'd like to gather around.
How did you
They
sit
just
through?
walked in. Can we walk and do this?
Well, I suppose we could do that. And I just start walking around. I just want to let you know how proud of you, of everything that
This
you
was-
all have done.
Okay.
Yes, you're going to do well, and I believe that each and every one of you, we will accomplish our goals together. Now let's tally forth into this cave of darkness and all survive and find success. Yes? And this is not, yeah, he's rambling on, and as he
Tally
rambles
forth.
on, you'll feel this boon
Yeah, bro,
overcome
that's what I did.
come over all of you. As I do my, as I'm giving a motivational speech
Yeah,
to
dude.
everyone. granting 5 temporary hit points and advantage on saving throws. If you're hit by an attack, you have an advantage on your next attack roll. Or sorry, if an effective creature is hit by an attack, it has advantage on the next attack roll it makes. And this lasts for an hour.
Okay.
Am I in range of that?
Did you walk off?
I walked into the thing.
Did you follow?
Are you within 60 feet of me? I mean, everyone was walking, so I would have followed.
Okay.
So absolutely, if that would work.
Yeah. If they can hear you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Eldred, good luck, buddy.
What did we get? Advantage on
Good.
saving throws?
Is this
Advantage
from?
on wisdom saving throws.
Is this which are you doing the feat inspiring leader? Which one are you?
Oh
doing?
no, I'm
Motivational
doing
speech
the
spell.
spell.
Oh, motivational
Spell.
speech. Okay.
There it is.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mute.
That's good. Cool.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So you have advantage on wisdom saving throws, and if an affected creature is hit by an attack, you have advantage on the next attack roll you make. But once you
Got it.
lose your temporary hit points, the spell ends for you. Cool. You would be heading into the darkness itself. The moment you step inside, you realize it's brighter in here than it is outside. Moonlight glimmering, shimmering from the center of the darkness itself, a couple 100 feet away. And it's almost like if you were to bring the moon to kind of a surface level and shine it outwards. It ripples against the edge of the dome you're in, and you can see where the darkness is spreading out. It's less dome-like on the inside, and it feels more like it's just kind of light gleaming and slowly getting stronger and stronger. Like if you were to slowly dim a light up, it's growing outward. You can see the trees here look hardened. And some of the creatures that walk past also look spiny and more carapace-like. And up ahead of you, you'd see a dark elf who's moving up and pressing a small fruit against a tree and rubbing it down, squishing it against it. Lena and Juno, can you make your stealth checks as you two are being sneaky?
And I have advantage thanks to the blessing, yes.
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 16 only.
Good thing we had the advantage.
Good thing I had that advantage. Thank you, Lena.
So you got a 22 and a 16, okay. You slip off into the
I rolled
shadows
pretty bad.
and move quietly away. The dark elf who's rubbing the fruit against the tree, for everyone else, if you're just walking, would turn his head. You see his moth face just kind of turn towards all of you. You can see where the fur of his skin should have been. But now is kind of layers of this almost scale-like substance, almost bark-like, growing across his skin all the way down. Hardened shell. He turns, spins his spear, presses it into the ground. And in common. Captives. Before quickly swapping to Elvish. You have willingly come into the darkness. Do you do so because you are seeking our guidance? Do you wish to join us? Lena or Draven? Well, technically he's looking towards you, Draven. He doesn't see Lena. Do you speak Elvish?
I do, actually.
I do
You do.
not, which is why I'm going to stay hidden if I can.
That was one I got from a background. Thank God this came of use.
Yes. There is solace in the darkness.
There it is.
And these few were overzealous.
We haven't been able to kill many of their kind. Outsiders. I can lead you further on.
Please do.
Why are they not chained?
Because they believe they're heading somewhere safe.
Roll a deception check.
20 total.
The fools. Their van is waiting for us.
Good.
It's time that you should be feasting upon the fruit. Become better.
Stronger.
Far stronger. Come. And then turns and begins walking through. You'd pass by a couple of other dark elves. Lena and Juno, what are you two doing?
I think we'd probably like tail them a little
Yeah.
bit. You know,
I'm
a little
trying to
bit
stay-
but yeah.
Just trying to stay within reach if they get into trouble, but trying to stay as out of sight as possible.
Okay. You walk along kind of an old pathway that leads through the trees. A lot of the dark elves have kind of dispersed themselves around the area. Some of them watch as you go past. And the one that's leading you says, "Captives. And one have asked to join us." And carries on leading you through. A couple of the elves just watch you as you go by. And he walks you into... The trees here are massive. The roots themselves, before you'd even get to the single branch, could be 20 feet up, 30 feet up. Wide, thick roots. But as you walk along this pathway, you can see kind of mushrooms that are gleaming and glowing, also a hardened kind of cap on top, almost becoming rock-like. But the smallest tree in the entirety of this grove is one that sways back and forth with red leaves. Like a tree that you'd find on the outside, unlike any other in Alfheim. Small. Almost looks like a seedling here if you hadn't been so used to being outside. And across this tree are these small, dark fruits growing. In real time, you can see as they... new ones growing down. And near the tree itself, you'd see a few of the dark elves collecting and putting these into a basket as they grow. Others collect them and move further out, heading up trees, climbing up trees, and moving away. You've probably only passed maybe around 10 to 12 dark elves in total. But near the tree itself, around ruffled feathers and kind of that have been collected and placed on the ground as like a comforted, nested like resting spot. You'd see one kind of slightly larger and broader dark elf. You couldn't really make out as a dark elf considering the fact with the context clues of the others being around it. But this one looks like it's consumed more. Its body's thicker and stronger. Nearby it is slightly elven, but like in traditional sense, pointed ears, but kind of a darker skin tone, black hair that comes down, and like a thicker kind of almost goatee that's tied up, with his hair tied up behind. You see this human-looking man, and kind of fineries nearby, and he's running his hand back and forth across his wand. Juno and Lena, you'd be able to be near a root, probably about 30 feet from all of this, hiding in the shadows beneath one of the trees. As you bring it over, the human has just sat there beside, near the nest area. But the large dark elf looks across. A couple of the others push down their weapons and look across to you, allowing you to journey a bit closer before the dark elf in front of you bows his head. Durvan, we've got a straggler. He's brought in captives. They think they're safe. Speaking entirely in Elvish. He wishes to join.
And if I may speak so boldly, these few...
And Draven like turns to look at the party and then back.
They believe that those who sit in the sickening light been causing trouble. So what if we could use them?
Roll a deception check again.
Oh, damn it, Joe, stop asking.
Joe,
18.
if the NPC is rolling anything to actually like detect this deception, I'd like to use Cosmic Omen to subtract 1d6 off of whatever they roll.
Does Cosmic Omen specify if it's spoken?
No.
It just happens.
Whenever you finish a long rest, you can consult your star map for omens. When you do so, roll a die. Until you finish your next long rest, you gain access to a special reaction. It's just something I use when someone's about to roll. It doesn't dictate that it's using any kind of.
Yeah, and you
vocal
rolled
component
your
of any
one
kind.
for today, yeah.
I rolled it as a subtraction from enemy rolls.
Okay.
So I'll roll 1d6. They'll subtract 3 from whatever they roll to detect that lie.
Okay. Durvan nods his head towards the elf in front. Who moves to the side. It is good for you to join us. We were just getting prepared. We haven't had a chance to try the fruit on anyone like this. Looks across your group. Perhaps now is a good time. What have you heard of us, brother?
I've heard you have power, unimaginable. I've heard that you no longer just sit in the shadows, but they kiss your skin and turn you into titans themselves. I've heard you no longer sit underneath the heel of those white-winged idiots.
You see all of the darkers kind of snicker underneath their breath. They go he kind of quietens with a hand. Rumors spread rather fast. The truth of the matter is that we've been freed by a gift. One stolen for us. This gift allows you to be stronger. He picks one of the fruit. Looks it up. We are naming them the moon fruit. A competitor to the sun. And every day that passes, this tree allows our essence to grow. Alfheim will be ours again. And we will rid it of Frey.
When?
In time. It is going on right now. My friend here, and he nods towards the human who sat down there just running his hands across his wand, believes that it is the time. We shall.
Can we trust the human?
He moves to common. Skerner. He asks if we can trust you. Ah. I was the one that brought the fruit. I got it here. Frey is likely on his way at some point. He looks down at his wand. You see it glimmer slightly. Some point very soon.
I have not known men to do things out of the kindness of their heart. But if you yourself seek something against Frey, that would be reason for me.
You would stand against Frey. You see Durvand kind of stepping forward of the human now and like looking towards you.
I would stand against any who would hurt my family.
Who's got the highest passive perception?
Not
I have 18.
16.
17 for me. And 17 on passive insight as well.
Excuse me.
Juno and Willoughby, you hear a whistling coming from the west, just past the tree. A very slight whistle in the wind. Slowly, ever so slowly getting louder.
I'll let Lena and anybody else, because I know I can telepathically communicate with Lena. I'll let Lena and anyone else know.
Raven and Eldred, no thing now.
Eldred, are you hearing that? The whistling?
Joe, when they were, I'm sorry, I'm sort of half phasing in and out here just because I'm trying to keep it with it. When they were talking about Frey, I may have missed something. The man was talking about Frey coming here. Did they say something about Frey before then, or am I getting the impression that because Draven's saying that he's staying against Frey, do I get the impression that they're surprised by that, or is the idea that they are all against Frey, or did it seem like they were maybe waiting on Frey for like a good reason, or am I just misunderstanding? That might just be me misunderstanding. Okay.
Whose face are you trying to read? Whose kind of intentions are you trying to read? Dervand or the human?
Probably the human at the minute, I think, because like he's the one who said he brought the fruit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to read the human's face. Also, I imagine that that'll be easier to read than the dark elves, who are a bit more alien to me. So, 24.
He is expecting Frey to come here, and he seems not just happy by it, but maybe excited by it.
Okay.
You see, it's kind of he's biding his time right now.
Okay.
And,
Again, I'll let the others know that as I'm. Well, thanks to the telepathic, I'll sort of be like, I think the human is waiting for Frey. I think he wants Frey here.
I'll say telepathically, and then also to the DM. Did the name Skerner ring a bell with anyone? Does that mean anything to anybody?
You can roll a history check or religion check. Religion's probably religion or history.
And then you said that, like, didn't you say last time you had like green hair or something? Like, or did I misremember?
It fades into green. It's like a black and green.
Okay. I mean, I have nothing great on either, but I will try.
I got a 19 on history about Skerner because again, I think it's like Juno might.
I got the natural one on my religion check. She's not that
17?
religious.
I would say, for you, Juno, I don't think you'd be able to have read up about it.
It's fine.
Minor character. With the 17 from Eldred, Skerner's a name that comes up occasionally. You might have heard it. It doesn't seem to be anyone really significant. But being around the idea of Frey as a name thrown out there, you've heard the name Skerner linked with Frey. Just not in any important stories. Frey's always kind of told as a hero in his own right, pursuing peace and prosperity. But then you'd hear see the Darko start looking around with surprise. Skerner looks at his wand. It's glowing a little bit more intensely now. This kind of greenish hue. And he stretches his legs and stands up. This time, Dervan nods his head and walks towards the back of the tree area. You see one of the Dark Elves looks to you, Draven, and goes, "It's almost time. Prepare yourself for fight."
It shall be done.
A moment later, coming through the tree line is this massive golden boar. You can see it would look mechanical if not for the skin kind of moving alongside with the limbs that steps forward. Long ivory horns that kind of stick out, sharpened. Great big glowing eyes. And atop its back, beautiful human. His hair in dreadlocks that go down to his back, similar to Skerner's. But instead of turning green, you can see as they turn almost this kind of fade of white. Dark complexion with kind of almost like this very, very fine cut beard that comes in a very thin kind of moustache across his mouth, thin around there, and it gets a little bit thicker below the chin. Wearing kind of almost very kind of ranger-like clothing. It's kind of some pelts and then also just some leathers underneath, comfortably on the back. And he lets out a soft whistle and then drops as you see the boar folds into a golden little chain. And he puts it around his neck. Skerner, where are you? And he steps forward a couple of steps. And Skerner stands without looking towards him, staring mostly at your group. I'm over here. Skerner, 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 Skerner. Mysterious man steps forward a couple of times. Takes his gloves off. Begins putting them away. Dervan steps over towards him. Frey. No longer do you protect this forest. We shall... You suddenly see the fist of Frey go straight through his chest, through his heart, holding the beating heart on the other side towards you all, and then pulls straight back forward, and Dervan drops to the side. He picks up some leaves and wipes it. You see the other Dark Elves start to ready their weapons. He goes, Really? You're going to follow that, exile? Skerner, were you messing with his mind? Good to see you too, Frey. And he steps forward. A couple of the Dark Elves kind of back off away from him, and he goes, You know, I could have forgiven you over the sword. You know, I really could have. I could have forgiven you over going behind my back, don't it? Could have forgiven you for all of that. But this? Alfheim? My Alfheim? That's what you seek to take? He steps underneath the tree. He picks one of the fruit. With mesogyne fruit. He drops it to the ground and just steps in it. You hit. Sniffs the air. And it stinks of Aesir here, no less. And he looks across to your group.
Uh-oh.
Now, which of our secondary family has blessed this lot? Have you thrown your ties in as well? You didn't think you'd get away with this, did you? Behind him, you see this tall, very thin, tall, kind of like... almost like this kind of very like humanoid, blue skin, no ears, and kind of a jaw that's kind of more like an orc. Kind of steps through this very thin character, wearing long, flowing kind of robes and pelts themselves. And beside him, a much thicker, broader character who steps in holding a big axe. Right beside. They stand where he kind of came in. He looks back at them. Bergvir, Baylor. Keep your eye on this lot. They stink of Aesir. He looks back towards Skerner. You know, I really have trouble forgiving you. What's that smell? Skerner smiles. That smell is me not forgiving you.
Oh fuck.
His eyes go up. And caught in this kind of theatrical moment, all of you just sit there as you see descending from the trees 3 figures. One flies down with their wings, coming down almost like wind itself, and then forms into this kind of rather large man, kind of readies his fists, wearing a toga. Beside him, another. She flies down with a staff in her hand, winged as well. Comes down fully with a toga, and kind of almost like a septum piece on her head that glows with her staff in match. She hovers there, flying in the air still. And then coming down with the swarm of bees, carrying him on the wind. Another, a more nimble man, and each 3 of these stand kind of ready, only about 15 feet or so away from Frey. Mesogaian gods.
I'm gonna say over the band to Juno and Draven, who the fuck are they? I think we don't want to be involved in this.
This is
Yeah,
I
sure.
quietly make a religion check.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do I need to make a check or do we recognize?
Make a
these?
check
do
for
I
these ones.
recognize any
Do a religion
as
check.
well?
For you,
Yeah,
not.
as well.
You wouldn't have, if you've not spent time with Mesogai, you wouldn't have recognized this.
Well,
That's
I mean,
fair.
there was only the ones that were at the festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
In
These 3 wouldn't have been
okay,
there.
okay, yeah, that's fine.
17 for Juno.
That's a nat one for Draven.
Okay.
I got a
That's
10.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yes, it
Juno,
does.
you might only have known these 3. They are lesser gods. They're not part of
Okay.
Olympus. There are other gods that live a little lower than Olympus in other portions of Mesogaia who aren't invited to be in the kind of the top echelon, the top elite. These are 3 of the lesser known gods. You recognize them based
Okay.
on their forms. At least 2 of them especially.
Okay.
Aristeus, or Aristeus. He's the god of beekeeping and cheese making. He's the one with all the bees. Boreas, the winged, flying, broader one, is the personification of the north wind itself. And the final one who might come around the Olympians, but never really gets invited in, is Baya, or Bia. She's winged and she represents power.
Okay.
These are 3 lesser Mesogaian gods. Frey looks at each of them. Skerner smiles. Managed to get you back, didn't I? Please. These 3. You think for a moment any of these, and then suddenly Baya fires a bolt, channeling a beam against him. He flies back into the trees, far off into the slams against one of the trees. She's scoldering as some of his furs are burnt and kind of simmering off. Big Veer and Baylor kind of ready their weapons. And the other 2 dive in. And you see as these 6 gods, well, technically 3 gods, a Vanir god and his 2 guards, begin battling into the tree line, fighting back. You see the tree get slammed to the side. You can see tree shaking. The fight takes into the air. And it becomes whistles and disconnected clashing of metal in the distance. You can see it all happening. And Skerner looks across all of you and smirks. Get involved. Give them the food. Feed them the food now.
Skerner's the human, right?
Yeah.
Question. The tree that we're all standing by, is that the one, like, are there, when we sent the bird in, we saw like light elves like stuck in the tree, right? Like trapped.
They weren't in this tree. They're in other trees hanging down as like
Okay.
almost like markings. Yeah.
But like we're by like the main.
Yeah,
The
you're in
bad
front
tree,
of
the big-
you're
the big
about
bad
20
tree.
feet away from the red tree. That's the smaller tree that's growing the fruit.
Okay.
And you can see Skerner goes, pull yourselves together. That's the fight there. Get yourselves fruit. We can kill him now. Adam can be ours. You see the Dark Elves look around, a little bit concerned.
I'm going. How far away am I from Skerna?
You would be about. I just got my map. I can tell you. But you're about 50 feet because you're underneath the root.
Okay, so I'm going to say over the telepathic bond. I'm hidden by a root, right?
Yeah.
Is he facing me? Is he facing away?
He would be facing kind of into the group. You're kind of.
Sure.
I'll get you guys onto a battlefield map so you can kind of get an idea of this.
Oh, like we might fight? What? That's weird. I'm going to. I'll say over the bond. Let me make sure I can do this right. That is.
I would have updated you guys on the lesser gods, by the way, on over the bond. I just didn't want to interrupt. So.
I would say I have a shot on him if we want to take it.
Joe,
Yep.
can I do a nature check or something about the fruit they keep bringing up about how that's related to potentially taking the fruit to stop this? Like, is there any information I can glean from that, or any check I can make to gather more info?
You can roll a nature check.
Guru is quietly interested, as he has made known to his traveling companions. He believes gods and demigods and lesser gods, it's all just spoiled children with too many toys in the toy box.
Mhm.
So anything that brings up the idea of killing a god, Guru is silently very interested.
Yeah, go ahead and make a nature check. Nature check would probably fit best. By the way, you guys would be about here on the map. Lena and Juno, you'd be up here in the northern section, just underneath the root area.
Okay.
So I will say to Draven and Juno and Eldred, if we want to attack, he has no idea where I am. I can start the fight.
Before we do that, can I make one check, Joe? This is more of a thesis that I'd like to use a skill check to see if I'm on the right lines.
Yep.
The wand that he's holding, and it's this human who's got this wand, right? And he's been holding it quite protectively. Can I make an Arcana check or an Insight check or something to see if I think that this wand is connected to the tree and the fruit or anything like that? Like, I know, I know I'm not a wizard necessarily, but this is just like a.
Yeah, you can make I would say an insight check. Insight check would make sense.
Okay.
If you're on
I
nature
also-
of 19.
Yes.
Was there something else you wanted?
Oh,
No, that was it.
Okay.
I was just letting you know about that. Yeah.
I would say you can work out that this fruit is not necessarily a god killer, but it directly seems like if you consume this fruit, it changes your form. It's almost got like some transmutation magic. So if you were to eat this fruit, it can alter your form. It's making these dark elves kind of go more carapace-like and a little bit stronger.
Gotcha. So eat
Warrior
the fruit
fruit.
to potentially
Power
stop
up.
this.
that was a 26 on insight into this mage and his wand.
It seems more like the wand is just more of a keepsake for him. You can see he just kind of clutches it well. And it's almost, from the way he was kind of holding it and kind of looking at it until Frey arrived, you can see it's almost got like a connection to Frey in some regard.
Okay, well, I'll say that. I'll be like, whatever that wand is, I think he's connected to Frey in some way. I think that maybe he's hoping to use it to reassert power. Like he said, I think that human is who we have to deal with if we want to help here. But if we want to get involved. I don't know what our play is here. This has gotten very complicated very quickly.
Are we helping Frey here?
I don't think we want to get into a fight with a bunch of other gods, and I think we are here to stop the darkness, which seems like stopping Skerner to me.
Sounds
think
like our
that's-
job here is to deal with Skerner and
This
deal with that
mage.
tree.
Yes, I think that maybe inadvertently we are helping Frey, but I think that ultimately, if we want to stop this darkness, that mage has to go, or we have to figure out what he was up to at least.
Yes, I
As you're
agree.
talking, you can see, as you just see diving in the distance, as Big Villa is like fighting off one of the beekeeper one. And you can see Frey on top of a branch fighting back the one with the wings. Power's being shot down to his two companions, and they kind of get knocked down to the ground. But whilst they're distracted, you see the one flying, they like kind of represents the north wind, is kind of blowing him, slamming him against the tree. And he manages to wait, pushes out his hand. You see him grabs it by the neck. Its form turns back to normal. He starts grabbing one of the rings, puts his foot against him, and tears off one of the rings. And you can see they're just
Jesus.
screaming and fighting up in the distance. Meanwhile, Skerner's looking back and forth and says, "Get him fruit now!"
All right,
So-
take the shot. I'd say to Lena, like, maybe take. I'd be like, I think you should take it, but
Yeah, I will telepathically to Eldred and Draven as well as Juno be like, if we attack now. Maybe we can all do it at the same time. I'm going to attack.
Yeah, Willoughby already realizing that like he doesn't need to be in telepathic thing to know that the whole group's about to fight, and he's gonna start preparing a spell.
Okay.
So I
What spell
will,
would you like to prepare?
I'd like to prepare erupting earth on the tree and the people
Nice.
around it and try to uproot the tree and destroy it.
Okay.
Is it just so I understand? Is the intention of this to, I guess, try and end the darkness? But would this would also help Frey, correct? Because these people are trying to kill Frey, just so I understand, or try and stop him.
It seems like it, right? Like, I think immediate goal is we have to stop Skerner and the tree, which is what we came here to do. And then Frey hopefully can handle himself so we don't have to get involved in a giant god fight.
I think I think that Skerner looks like he wants to usurp Frey or like steal his power or do something. Like he wants to try and fight him when he's weakened. I think.
Also, like Frey was like, "Oh, were you like,
maybe we can
fucking with
fight
his
Frey when he's
mind or
weakened."
whatever, right? Like this dude don't
Yeah.
seem that nice."
Yeah, Boulder told us that he's basically abandoned Alfheim as well. Like he's a bit of an addict for this fruit. And
Is Willoughby, has Willoughby already cast the spell, or does he look like he's about to cast the spell?
This would be the surprise round that you guys are doing this in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he'll be casting the spell during this surprise.
Could I say something
Yeah. Yeah.
to Willoughby while he's casting it?
Absolutely.
Wait.
Okay, wait for...
Should we put ourselves on the map?
Yeah, if you could. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh yeah, we can drag ourselves. Can't
You're
we?
about to start fighting. Yeah.
Very.
It's kind of hard to just stop and wait in the middle of a spell, so like you're gonna...
Yeah. And he would say very quickly, "What if we could get two birds with one stone? Stop the darkness, and potentially end a god's life."
Sounds a little ambitious.
He says that to Willoughby. He clearly doesn't care about us. And obviously this one wants to try to usurp another toy for the toy box.
Listen, you've
Why
been
don't we
around
let him-
gods as much as I have? Most of them can punch holes in your chest, and if you pierce off one, you're gonna pierce off all of the others, and really, I do not want to bite off more than we can chew on this one. Let's focus on just the tree in the darkness, rather than take a swing at what I can only assume is you want to take a swing at Frey?
No,
during this?
no, of course not. But
Just
if their
interject.
plan were to be successful.
If you talk anymore, it's going to go past the surprise round just because it's going to be happening.
Okay, all right. And then that's all I would say.
For Juno's readied action, by the way, I'm just going to ready an action that if any of these like dark elves rush Lena to try and like get in her face, I'm going to rush up and engage them. Like I basically want to focus on body blocking for Lena.
Okay. I will say you've got a surprise round right now, so they you're going to go before any of these guys. You get one free turn before these guys entirely. So if you want to do anything during that, they're probably not
I
going
don't
to
really
run
have I don't really have anything ranged. I could run out, I guess, to like, but I don't want to fight these dark elves.
You're hidden right now too, like.
Yeah, I'd almost like rather wait and use the advantage of my first attack if they rush towards Lena, maybe.
Okay.
I'm going to just be whispering, yes, and just sort of pulling up Shield of Faith Spirit, getting ready to send it towards Lena as soon as she reveals herself, because she's hidden. I don't exactly see her, so I'll hold it until I see her.
Okay. In which case, Draven, is there anything you want to do?
Draven's gonna basically in Elvis try to convince the Dark Elves that this isn't our fight, and if these weird creatures want to fight amongst themselves, let us basically be the vultures they see us as, and then feed on what remains.
Okay. I'm gonna get you guys to roll initiative. We'll see which order it goes in.
Alright. I'm terrible at initiative.
Guru nods. That's essentially what he was trying to get across.
I didn't click.
Yeah, sorry, you talked to Willoughby, who's the one guy who would not want to take swings at gods.
Yeah.
So,
19 for initiative.
Oh no, that's all good.
hold up.
Oh god, it's been a while. I rolled a 10 on my initiative.
4.
Do I need to re-roll?
No,
or
I can
are
edit
you
it.
able
That's
to-
fine.
Okay, cool.
I'll make that a 4.
All right. 10 for Guru. And then let me just add these guys to the roll.
Been a minute since I've rolled 20.
It is all good, my friend. All good. Okay. Is everyone on the initiative order?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. Well, because of your stealth and your trickery, you do have a full surprise round. So, Lena, your action's going to go off first. You're shooting arrows straight towards Skerner, yes?
I'm
Joe,
going to
your
throw a
dagger.
dagger because I'm still in range. So surprise round, you just get the action, right? You don't have like
Yes.
bonus action, right?
Well, you
Whatever.
get
Okay.
yeah, you get your turn. You get your turn. You have a surprise full
alright.
turn. You can do your
Okay.
action, your bonus action. your
So I'm hidden, so I already have advantage, so I don't, right? So I don't need to worry about that.
Yep.
So I'm going to just throw a dagger.
What's your range on your daggers?
To 60.
Okay, 60 because of the thing.
And you said I was 50, right? That's
Yeah.
I
Is
put
that
myself
with
where I thought it was
disadvantage?
50. No, there's no, it's just 60.
Cool.
Because they're,
Oh, this is
Oh,
the
because
psychic
it's a psychic
knives.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot.
yeah.
Been a while.
No, it's okay. I have to look at it every time. That's why I was like, wait, how far am I? Tell me exactly how far I am, because I forgot.
Yeah, that hits.
26 to hit.
That hits.
That is going to be a 24 with the sneak attack.
24, the sneak attack. You see him kind of
Great.
gasp, taking unawares.
And then I would like to, for the bonus action, throw another dagger at him.
Okay.
That is only third. That is not. Wait, am I still hidden?
You
Is
are
that,
still.
I don't know how to. Okay,
You
great.
would still be
So
hidden in this
13.
round, yeah.
Okay, so that is a 13, which probably does
13
not
misses.
hit. Okay, all right. I will swear quietly under my breath and then look at Juno like, that is it.
You see, kind of taking unawares. In that moment, Juno, you're protecting Lena. Eldred, you're whispering, ready to cast Shield of Faith. You would, Lena, are you re-hiding? And you didn't re-hide, so you've broken your hiding now.
I would have broken it because I tried to
Yeah.
get another shot off,
So
right? So
you
I
would be able to
can't.
see her now and able to cast it.
Send it over to her. And I'll just back under the treetops a bit more, back up.
Okay. Draven, you attempted to talk to them. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Muted, bud.
Oh yeah, you are muted.
19.
19. Okay, I'll try something.
Or not.
You'd see these two are filled with self-doubt. I'll give them like a little kind of marker on them. You see these two are filled with self-doubt. You see, the new one might be right. In over our heads. Good. What did you say you wanted to do? You
I'll
were
just
mostly
nod.
talking to yours.
He's right.
Willoughby, then you're doing erupting earth.
Yeah, I want to focus erupting earth on these. Hang on, let me make it visible. I want to put it mainly on the tree because I want to uproot and try to destroy it flat out.
Okay.
But I also want to catch this guy in the 20 by 20 foot cube
Yep. Okay.
with the cast.
So dexterity save. The tree automatically fails the dexterity save, because it is a stationary tree.
Yes.
So sad.
Here's disadvantage on this though. Yeah, he would fail as well. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Cool.
He gets
Let's
hit by
go.
that.
17 bludgeoning damage.
17 bludgeoning. The tree has a health bar. It is hurt. I'm gonna track it in game here. It is hurt. You see, one of its roots starts kind of spiraling out, and you can see this tree tips slightly as the ground bursts and ripples beneath it. And you can see it kind of catches him away, catches his feet, and starts ripping up underneath him, slamming against him.
And this is Frey who's getting hurt?
No, he was hitting the tree. He was hitting the tree and Skerner here.
Yeah,
Oh, Skerner.
for
Okay.
Skerner.
Do they get? It's difficult terrain, right?
It's all this is difficult terrain now on that 20 by 20 cube. So all this here.
Let me see if I can get some difficult terrain little token.
Also, is it
yes,
okay if I
the
switch up the
difficult
order or
terrain
something? It only matters for the new boon thing because I forgot that if I was in Chalice and then I cast a spell, I could technically make one of those little healing seeds
Oh,
for people?
Yeah.
The things.
Can we say that I was in Chalice so I can actually like use them?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. So I'm going to be in Chalice bonus action, and I'm gonna put a little seedling
was that?
heal right here.
Okay, let's see if I.
Oh, we
have
have to find you a little seed token.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna look for now. See if there's anything I've got.
As a reminder for the party, if you step on it, you get the heal. It's 1d4 plus my modifier. So
Okay. Is that
minimum
1d4
of
plus
6
5?
healing just by
Nice.
stepping on it. So
Trying to think of a spell that might be like a nice looking little spell token I can use. Let's see if I can get like a little green circle. I was gonna use an actual seed, but I think it would get lost in the maps.
Like a little sapling.
No, I was gonna
Yeah.
use that, but I
A
think it
little
would get lost
bush.
in the map.
That's true.
I think it'd be easier if we just use. I'll find something better for next week, but let me just use this for now. One of these.
Aww.
yeah, if you want to toss me like access to it, I can handle just dropping them myself, so you have a little bit less stuff
Oh,
you have
yeah,
to do. Since it's gonna
I'll-
be a constant.
Yeah, I'll
It's
get
so
you. I'll get you a
pretty
thing
and
for next
glowy.
week. You can use this one. You
Okay.
can. I can copy and paste those ones, and you have access to each one for this week.
Gotcha.
So yeah, put it wherever you want. You should be able to move it.
Yeah, I was thinking just in the bulk of this. I don't think enemies can use it, so I'm gonna put it
No.
in like the center of the area.
The seed's like, you don't look like a friend. Get out of here.
What's up? I'm poison if you use me, dude.
Yeah, right?
Uh,
It'd be great if they could talk. I'm poisoned.
and then, with that all said and done, as you just kind of see, you let off these attacks. You see these two filled with self-doubt. We're going to start the actual battle. In the distance,
Okay,
you can
great.
see, as again, Frey's now during that kind of 6-second gap there. You see he's already kicked back and he's grabbed hold of Boris's other wing and he's managed to tear that off during that time. Meanwhile, kind of closer to the ground, a little bit further away, you can see the fighting is kind of led off into the trees. Hard to kind of make out, but Big Vir and Baylor are like fighting against the other two, pushing back, and you can see Aristius is kind of holding off against both of those on his own as Bayer flies up into the trees to kind of deal with Frey. So that whole kind of god fight's going on in the background. You see trees just getting splintered and burst. But Skerner is going to turn and realize that you're all fighting. He's going to step forward. I think as a bonus action, first, let me just see who's closest. He wouldn't recognize that you're an enemy just yet, Draven, entirely. He's trying to assess the situation. So he's going to go. He's going to step through. And to you, Lena. Yeah.
Come on, I look like a dark elf still.
Yeah, but you're a dark elf that just threw something at him. He's going to turn and look as
He
you're kind of stood
didn't
over
see
there with
the
your armor.
first one.
And he's going to step forward and go. And unleashes this chain from his hand. Shoots
Oh,
over
shit,
towards
that
you.
chain.
Make a strength saving throw, please.
I mean, I guess I was more for like the dark elves, but is there any way like I could jump in with this with my,
Yeah.
my held action?
I would say with the held action,
Can I like throw myself in front of it instead of so it hits me instead of Lena?
you can do that. Yeah.
Is that
You-
cool?
Yeah, you can roll a strength saving
and
throw.
that'd be my
That
reaction.
is fucking cool,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I want to do that. Strength saving throw,
yes,
yeah.
please.
Okay. I didn't say I had golden wisdom out, so it's just normal strength saving throw for me. 10.
You fail as the chain hits you. It wraps around your body.
no.
That's
And,
fine. It hit me, not Lena.
You see as it kind
Shit's
of
mouth.
and then slams you to the ground. You don't fall prone, but then you feel it wrap around one of your legs and lock you in place. You can now only
Awesome.
move within
Restrained.
10 feet of that area, and you are considered restrained. Yes.
Okay.
And you take.
Is it like action to break out, or is this end of turn saving throw?
It is a. It has health. It has health.
Oh,
Contracted
okay.
health. Or you can
This
break
chain
through it
looks
by making an
alive.
action. It's a choice.
Okay. Nice, thank
Either
you.
do the strength saving throw, or you can just.
That's
smash
okay.
it. But yeah, you can only move within 10 feet of that spot you're in right now.
Okie dokie.
That's his bonus action, and as his action, you just see him get his wand ready, point once towards Eldred probably, and do a mind burst attack on her, which is a 25 to hit, rolled very well.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Take 16 points of psychic damage,
What?
and can you make a
At
con
least I'm
save?
resistant.
And then he goes, "Who the hell are you? Pets of Frey! Elves, protect me!" And then he's going to point towards... I'd say Adderward at this point as well.
Adelward?
Sorry, I keep calling him Adderward. Will it be?
That's
happens
his
so
other, that's
often.
the Godforge character, right?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Save was for my concentration.
Okay. So it drops, right?
I don't know. That was a question. Was that from the
Yeah, for
attack?
concentration, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I dropped concentration on Shield of Faith.
And then it's a nat 20 towards you, Willoughby.
Jesus Christ.
It's 27 points of psychic damage. As he points out, you just see this kind of ripple come from his wand, and you just feel this kind of attack in your mind. And then, as his third part, he can do a... He's going to go invisible.
Of course he is.
And he disappears. The last known spot you saw him was here.
All right.
Lena.
Okay, the last known spot I saw him was there. I am going to freak out a little bit. Shit. All right, I'm going to look at Juno and be like, "Do you need me to help you get out of this?"
No, go.
All right, I am going to trust Juno that she is telling the truth and can handle her own self, because I've seen her able to handle herself. And I'm going to realize I'm there. I think I'm going to I'd like to move and hide, basically.
Okay.
So everybody else is there. I want to go kind of like this way.
Okay.
Like go around the root.
Okay.
And then as I come around to those bushes, I'd like to, hide.
Yep. Roll your bonus
right.
section and to hide.
Okay. So I'm just rolling. I just rolled sneak,
Stealth.
right?
Yeah.
Or stealth. Yeah, I don't know what I meant.
Roll to sneak.
25.
Roll to sneak. Okay.
Roll to sneak.
25.
And then if that's my bonus action, can I hold an action to throw dagger if I see him
Yeah.
reappear?
Yeah.
And he's within range?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is what I will do.
Okay. Juno.
So what I'm gonna do is the ones with the little faces, these elves with the faces, they're the ones that are sort of seem to be listening to what Draven's saying, right?
Yes, they're
The ones
who
with the little
definitely feel
markers.
self-doubt. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to attack those guys because I can see that Draven's trying to convince them, and I want them to leave as well. So, and you said I can move 10 feet from my position, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm
as
gonna
long
move
as you,
10
let me draw
feet.
the little thing on the ground. As long as
Yeah.
you are within 10 feet of that spot there.
So where I am now, right,
Yep.
is okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, 5'10", and then that's. I'm just gonna move there for now. Actually, no, I will do this first because then I might be able to move more. I'm going to activate my astral self. And just because for me this is like flavor, but I also think it works, I'm just going to activate my arms and my visage at the exact same time every time, just because
Cool.
I like the idea that Golden Wisdom is this whole being,
Yeah.
and I don't get to choose just parts of her. It's only one.
Cool.
So I'm just going to do both at the same time. A little bit of flavor. It's not
That works for
optimal,
me.
but I
Yeah,
don't-
that's cool.
I don't care. And then because she's active, I'm not going to do any attacks because there's no enemies near me. That's my bonus action, but now I can make an action with using my wisdom modifier, so I can make a wisdom saving throw instead.
Come
And this is technically, it's annoying because it's I use my wisdom modifier, but I have proficiency in strength, so this is basically going to be +7. So I'm actually just going to do this manually because the sheet doesn't have it. Roll d20 +7. Because our proficiency is 3, my modifier is 4. Yeah, 19.
19. You snap the chain.
So Golden Wisdom like punches it, and then it breaks. And then I am going to use all of my 45 feet of movement to get up onto the last place I saw this guy.
Okay.
and then just maybe like close my eyes and because I use my action, I've used my movement, I've used my bonus action now, but like almost like trying to just use my ears and trying to listen for like this guy moving around in the leaves and the underbrush. And I can't ready an action, but yeah, basically it's that idea of like trying to make an opportunity attack if I think that they've left my space a space.
Okay. Eldred.
So are we essentially in like a dim light scenario?
Yeah, I would say so. Dim, especially. Yeah, dim light.
Yeah. Do the elves look like they're about to fight? They're like
the three
there's two
not
that are
further
like
down.
questioning.
Yeah, these three at the back, like these three, they definitely do. They look like they're kind of ready to fight in behalf of Skerner.
I'm going to shout Tagilia and just cast daylight in the middle of us.
Okay.
Big brain play, amazing Brizzy.
I got a daylight thing.
60-foot radius sphere.
I might actually have one of these. Let's see. 60-foot radius sphere is bloody massive.
Yeah.
It's almost like this whole fucking map.
That's how big it is. Okay. Right here.
Yeah. Sure.
Does that work? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd see suddenly this massive bright light just shimmers, drowning out others. And you're all fighting.
Back
There's
up
kind of
a
almost
little more.
sunlight in the front of you. It shines like the middle of day.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Can't see now.
You can't see?
Can't see much.
Wilby's like reeling from getting psychically blasted. Like a concussion.
Draven.
So 5, 10, 15, 20. With blind sight, is Skerner within 10 feet of me?
Where you are right now?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Ooh.
In Elvish, he'll shout, "The fool said to fight, and then left us here to clean up his mess. We are not pawns of Frey nor humankind. We are chosen."
That's good.
Yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
Come on.
20 total.
These two, their doubt turns to pure kind of resolution of fear. Kind of an idea of they're realizing the situation. These three seem to be unaffected, the other three. But these two are different. He's right. Can't fight a god? What are we trying this for? And he's kind of, you just see both of those two are starting to kind of ready to back out.
Yeah. And he yells, "Warn the others." And then, yeah, that's probably his turn because that's action.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll go. Here. It's Frey within 10 feet of this spot. I mean, it's Skerner.
It's gonna. Yes. Yeah.
Could you tell me where?
Just north of you.
Draven turns and points. And then in common, "Even the gods can't hide you from your lies, Skerner."
You hear this kind of muttering under his breath.
Why would you abandon us and go invisible yourself?
And that's Draven's turn. Trying to basically be a pissed dark elf.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, Draven's clearly pointed out where this guy is, right?
That's the intent.
Nice. He's still in my, just so you know, he's still in my reach because I've got my reach on. So
Okay.
If I was holding my action, can I use Draven pointing out to chuck a dagger?
You can. You have disadvantage because he's still invisible. But yeah.
Because he's still invisible. But I'm hidden, so it would just be straight up.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Yep.
Then oh, sure. Let's try it, right?
It'll be straight up.
Let me make sure I have normal.
Because if it gets to your
12.
turn, if it gets to your turn, Lena, you wasted that held
Yeah.
action anyway, so you
It
may as
was
well
only
take it.
12.
Disappears.
It's really bright.
Sure.
Sorry.
To clarify, if my held action is to cast a spell and I don't end up doing it, do I lose the spell slot?
If in combat, I would do that. If it wasn't in combat, then no. But in combat, yes, you'd have been expending the spell slot if you're going to be holding it.
All right, then. In that case, Guru is going to sort of, unassumedly, no weapon drawn, just sort of begin to slowly circle a little bit. I'll take the risk. And I'll come over here. And Guru sees where Draven is pointing. And will prepare a spell. I have to let you know what the spell is.
Is it the secret?
You just say what level it is, I guess.
Are you DMing it to me? Okay. Cool.
Oh no. I can DM it to you. Yeah, that works for me.
That's more fun. Then we don't know.
No,
mean,
that's
yeah,
where it
if
was
it-
like I'm asking you. Yeah, I could DM it to you. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. If it's a little secret, sure.
Yeah. Secrets. All right.
I say over the telepathic bond, is he just walking up there with like no weapon?
What is
the
his
fuck?
deal?
This guy is kind of weird, you
I
guys.
mean, I could barely see him through the light. But...
Okay.
I got up as Joe was placing that, and I came back. I was like, "Oh fuck, that is bright."
It's
And
gonna
I
get
end my
worse come my turn.
and I end my turn.
Okay. Okay. On the Lunarians' turn, or the Dark Elves, this one is going to take its dash action. It's going to fly right out of the arena and get the hell out of here.
Respect.
Well, sorry, not
Good
fly.
choice,
They don't
buddy.
fly when they're. Wait, sorry, no, do fly. I'm confusing my own law because they've got the fruit now, so it gives them the
got the
ability to
fruit.
fly. So I gave them a flying speed. I was like, why have I given them a flying speed? No, that's why. That one's gone. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, and they're both these both can fly off. They just take to the sky and get the hell out of here.
GG, Draven.
These three, though. The one that
Make
you're
good
next
moves.
to, Draven, is going to hit you with his halberd. Only an 11 to hit, though. Just kind of swing down against you. You have to deflect it.
Fool.
One in the center is going to look towards you, Juno, and it's going to shoot 3 needle barbs at you.
Okay.
21, 25, and a 14.
They're shooting barbs at me, you
Yes,
say?
they're like
You catch
they're like kind of
that.
imagine like a kind of a blowpipe filled with like thorns. Yeah,
These count as missiles.
they do indeed.
Hey,
Well, the first one I'm going to try and deflect missiles.
Okay,
come on.
Are they bothered by the light? Do they seem to
you're
care?
absolutely right. They have disadvantage in all of these. So let me just double check.
Hey.
So, sorry, just for the hit rolls, it was 22 something and something.
Technically, it wasn't because they should have had disadvantage from the daylight.
Okay.
What's your AC?
Do you want to just 17? If you just want to roll them again, because I deflect missiles on a hit.
That's what
so...
that's what I did. I've rolled
Yeah.
them again. I've got an 11, a 10, and a 17. So
Okay, so
only one of them would hit, so
17.
you'd be able to deflect that one.
I'll deflect missiles on that one.
Sounds good.
Sorry, guys, for the snuffles.
It's okay.
I just keep doing it because I keep forgetting I'm not muted. Plus
We've all been
plus 3 plus my monk level 6 plus 9.
I've never been sick in my life. Don't say that.
So is it 12 damage or less?
Yeah. Well, let me just remember how deflect missiles works. You roll it based on the damage, don't you?
So it's basically the damage you take from the attack is reduced. If I reduce it to 0, I can spend. A key
I have to
point
roll the damage
throw
first.
it
That's
back.
what it is. Yes. Yep. You've done it. You've reduced it to 0. You can spend a key point to throw it
I
back.
don't think I want to spend the key point. I want to save my key point, so I'm just going to deflect it away from me
Okay.
and then not take any damage.
See this tiny needle that comes through the kind of air. 2 of them miss you. It's kind of blindly trying to see through the daylight. The other one, flicking away like a kind of swatting a bug. And the third guy, he is going to. Yeah, it's going to fly over towards you, Juno, and take 2 disadvantage short sword strikes.
Okay.
19 does hit.
That will hit.
And only an 8. So only one of them, it just flies in. Managed to get like a lucky cut on you for 9 points of slashing damage. And then the second one, you managed to just duck out the side.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okie dokie.
Willoughby.
He peeks out from around the mushroom. I believe he's hiding behind. Squints around, and then seeing Draven just pointing at this guy's no longer invisible, right?
He's invisible.
Back to being. He's still invisible.
Yeah, he's just
Cool.
pointing to where he
I'm
is.
gonna fucking call lightning down upon. These
Yeah.
okay.
It's so
I'm
fucking
gonna
bright
make a
in here.
60-foot radius storm on top of the
Jesus
daylight.
Maybe
And
you guys
just
remember what the
make
map
it
looks
the
like, because I
worst.
don't. Storm lightning, see if I can get a thing for it. Boo, 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 boo. Should be able to get a spell token for this. That one's a bit too.
I think you had one at one point last
Yeah.
time I did it, but it was like huge and also animated. And
Yeah,
so
I think I've got an animated one.
It was the
and,
animated one.
and I think
Let's
is
not
it
do that
Storming
one yet.
Sphere? It's not that one, is it? It's Cool
It's
Lightning.
Cool lightning.
call
Lightning.
lightning.
Right.
So it's like the sphere is the storm is overhead, and then he chooses
and then
a
you're
5
choosing
foot
where it comes
space,
in.
right?
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
choosing 10-foot
That's
Joe
right.
used that all the time in
spheres
Celeste.
to
I did. I used to. It was my go-to.
Joe, that was his go-to spell, call lightning.
I'm just trying to find one that's worthy of it. Okay, this one should work, I think. Okay, this one can work. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the
that'll
animated
do.
one. We will pause the animation. It's as pretty as it is. How big is it?
It is 60-foot radius, so it's
so.
once again a full map size. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, let's just go
Yeah,
ahead.
it is literally.
Tell me where it ends, and I'll just put a little dot on
Yeah,
the
well,
map. That's a bit easier.
Well, that's it. Like it covers the
It's
map. He
all
can
of
hit
it.
anywhere on it.
It's all. It's the whole place.
We'll just
You know-
exactly. We're good. We're good. We'll just,
People laugh
we'll
about
just go
staying
without an image.
120 feet away
Yeah,
from
yeah.
things.
So these two here.
Dex saves?
Deck
Yeah.
saves.
Come on.
Okay.
This is the most use I've got out of blind fighting in my life.
It's such a cool fighting
perfect.
style.
Okay. Both fail. I assume. Wait, what's your
Catch a
DC? What's
cool-
your, yeah, DC 16. Yeah, they're definitely both
DC
fail.
16. They both catch 25 lightning damage.
Fuck, you know,
25
mate.
points of lightning damage as a lightning bolt just strikes down against them. I'm going to roll his concentration.
I hope it is a fail. No offense.
So after that would be okay. He just succeeds. You see as he kind of the lightning ripples and it almost creates his form for a second. You just see the lightning kind of outline his
Okay,
bones.
that's
It's like an
cool.
X-ray for a moment, and it just spreads into the ground. You go like this kind of a sizzling sound. He just goes, "Ah, fuck!" But it kind of manages
Guess
to hold
I
him
hit
to
something.
invisibility.
Wilby's gonna use the seedling heal directly underneath his own feet. So I will heal 7 health.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna dip even farther behind this fucking mushroom. I want to break line of sight because I heard the guy cussing after I hit him with the lightning.
Yep. He is. He's going to move out of your attack opportunity. Firstly, yours, Draven. You don't have disadvantage on this, Draven, so you get to swing normally.
You make another seed tomato. Could you
I
cast
made
a
one
spell?
underneath
He made
myself.
one
Oh,
underneath
okay.
him,
Where's
so-
the-
There's one here.
Yeah, that's the one there. That's not
oh.
the sunlight. That's the seed.
Yeah,
No, that's
an
a seed. Okay.
Yeah, I was at like half health because of one.
The seed is so bright.
Yeah, right. Holy shit, Willoughby.
The power
Out
of nature.
control.
Yeah, what can I say?
Draven, that hits.
All right, I'm gonna put in
Elder
a
just
divine
quietly
strike.
laughs the whole time.
Okay.
9 radiant, 10 slashing for a total of 19 damage.
19
You
points
just do
of
it every
damage.
time he throws one.
Okay. Gonna do his con save.
Come on, I hope
He
you
managed
fail.
to succeed.
God damn it.
You see him. You just feel the kind of blood just get flicked to the side. You cut into the air. You hear him kind of gritting his teeth. He's gonna move past. He's going to go out of your range. You'd have disadvantage on this, Juno.
Yep. Can I just check one thing before I make my attack of opportunity? So sorry. Okay, when I hit. Okay, so this is with Golden Wisdom with disadvantage. So it's a 14 with the disadvantage.
14 with disadvantage. Just misses. You see as he kind of...
I am... Ooh. So sorry. I'm going to spend 2 key points to use my focused aim to increase that by 4. So it goes up to an 18.
Shit, that is cool.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I just realized you used your reaction, didn't you? Because you did deflect missiles.
I did a deflected aim. No, that's fine. Never mind. Yeah. I don't spend the key points, so it's all fine.
It's okay. No! It was a cool move. I'm sorry to take it away.
I was going to be a pain in the ass and then stunning strike the opportunity attack and try and stun him.
It was been fucking
like
cool.
Like an absolute gremlin, but I didn't. It's fine.
Okay. The flame missiles are so cool. It's hard to resist it when it comes up. He's going to break his invisibility to do a mind burst attack against Willoughby. With advantage 16.
Is that
to
an
hit.
attack?
Yes.
I was going to say I want to use Cosmic Omen to subtract it, but that doesn't mean for my armor class anyways.
Okay. Yep. So you'd see it go as he appears to shoot this kind of beam towards your head. He breaks his invisibility. Guru.
Not so fast. Guru immediately turns sight, his eyes glowing green for like a flash of a moment, and he'll point over. And he'll scream at him. He'll say, I'm your ally, your friend. In this fight against Frey, you're not using that wand to its full potential. Hand the wand to me, and I will resolve your ordeal as I cast suggestion towards you.
Yeah, dude. Go, motherfucker.
DC 16.
Come on.
Stops. Use it once. Here's it behind. You're right. Take it. He throws his wand back over towards you. I don't need it for my minor spells anyway.
I bow to him.
You've cut off his access to his spell casting. He can still do his mind burst, but he can no longer do his spell casting. Which removes a lot of spells from him.
That's a fucking play.
Then make life easier, Joe.
Huge.
And then
But we don't really know that it was suggestion necessarily.
And then he's going to take a mind burst towards you, Draven, because you cut him. A 22 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
You take 14 points of psychic damage.
Dope.
And then he is going to look around, look back towards you, Juno. Don't you know to stay in place? Strength saving throw,
God damn it.
please, as he fires another chain in your direction with his bonus action.
Oh, this time I get to use golden wisdom.
It's true.
1d20 plus
What do you mean? 5,
7.
10, 20.
This is a 4, 7. Yeah, plus 7. It's 25.
You're good.
And
and
she
he's gonna
punches
move
it out the air.
5 feet this way. Okay. Lena.
Okay. I'm assuming the root is in the way if I wanted to throw a dagger at him, yes?
Yeah, right now in your position you're in, the root would be in the way.
I was trying to see through the very, very bright
Very,
light.
very bright.
Okay.
lovely
Okay,
day.
great. It is really nice out
Aside from all
today.
the storms.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah, right. Okay.
it is like seeing a storm in the middle of summer, just in the sky.
It's making
Okay.
rainbows.
Am I still? It's super bright, but also there is a storm above as well. So, like, am I still hidden in the bushes if I
You
don't move?
attacked, which will break
did.
your hide. So you'd have to hide against bonus.
All right, that is okay. I'm going to throw a dagger at the guy that is next to Draven.
Okay.
Which I could do a sneak on, right? Because he's like, now I haven't played. I forgot how to rogue, you guys.
Yeah, well, you're looking to get advantage.
Yes, right.
So you can rather spend no movement. You spend and do your what do you call it? Steady
aim.
Steady aim, or because right.
Or you can hide and attack. Hide successfully, get hidden, then attack, and that
now
will
we'll
give you
steady aim. I'm going to stay. I like this route. It's nice. I'm going to lean against. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to lean against and throw. That's crazy. But I will steady aim and throw a dagger. Ah, shit, it is a 15. I got too cocky about leaning on the route.
Yeah, 15 misses, I'm afraid. You just
God damn it.
launch it across and just miss.
I'm going to be like, oh, it's so bright. That's why I missed it. And then that is
See
my turn.
anything?
Did I hit? I can't tell. Did it?
I don't know.
That's like,
Juno.
It's just like a normal sunny
It's
day.
a normal sun. The image makes it look so much more bright than it is.
but
That's
for
meant to
like
be
the
in the
last
sky.
day or two, we've been under the tree canopy where it's been super dark. So
That's fair, yeah, I
movie theater
suppose.
during the day.
This is like
Also,
when
I
I
really
open up
like
my
the
door for the
idea-
first time once a year.
yeah. I like the
Seed.
idea that it looks like it's coming out of the seed. It's just like, this fucking seed. Somebody step on it.
Juno is just going to move around this dark elf, staying within attack range, so they don't get an attack of opportunity with me. And then with my 10-foot reach, because of Golden Wisdom, I'm going to look over at this Skerner character, and I'm going to roll to see if I hit before I say something cool, just in case I
That's
roll.
fair. Yeah. No, I make that mistake. So I understand.
You've been burned
So
now.
I'm going to attack, extra attack, and then bonus action attack. I'm not going to spend key points on flurry, so 3 attacks.
See, by not saying
20
something
to hit.
cool now, you've sentenced yourself.
I've sent it myself. Well, 20 to hit on the first one.
20 does hit.
Hey!
You get to
15 on the second one.
15 is
No,
exactly
it's
his
not.
armor class.
Oh, god damn. It's
Dice. Oh, because he didn't have cover. Okay, yeah, nice.
Say something cool, but twice.
And then the last one, I'm gonna spend the 2 key points to add 4 to make sure the last one hits. All 3 hit.
nice.
Okay.
And then the last one, I'm gonna spend another key point to do a stunning strike on as well, Joe. So if you can make a Constitution saving throw against DC, this would be 15.
Okay. He fails. You slam it into him right in his side.
So this is like a classic JoJo, like like rapid punches. That's gonna be. Oh, sorry, I got to do my damage 3 times.
Yeah.
So
Give me the
5
damage.
force, 9 force, 8 force. So what's that?
22.
That's 22 points of force damage, and then just kind of like as she's running over, she does her classic thing of like, "Oh, you want to rule the lands of Alfheim, Skerner? Let me ask you a question." Punch, and some philosophical question about whether it's better to be loved or feared. And
Okay.
I'm too ill to think of cool
it's
stuff.
such- it's cool.
Philosophy here. Brett, that is literally how I have to play this character, because
fine.
I am not smart enough to be my
Oh, it's
character.
good. It's
You,
good.
no, that's why I play wizards and just say, "Can I do an intellect roll?"
Guys, I said something really cool right here.
Yeah.
I said something real cool.
You're just gonna look over Juno and just be like, "Impressive. I'm familiar with that passage."
There's a moment where like you punch him, and then like when you finish your sentence, I imagine like you get this one last punch, and there's an extra just like twist of the finger, and it causes his whole body, and he kind of locks up in place. He's stunned.
Yeah, I just punched it. I like the idea that rather than it being like, like pressure points like monks and like in like kung fu movies, this is just I punched him really hard in the face and it stunned him. That's how I run it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Cool. Yeah,
That's me fully done and nearly out of key points in one fight.
Hey,
But
Eldred.
I'm happy.
you managed to stun him and you did good damage.
And I did good damage. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy.
So, Skerner's stunned?
He's stunned.
Yes.
And he don't have his wand either.
I'll walk up.
This is like, I hope this becomes the Eldred Juno combo of I stun him and then you're just like hand on face, melt face.
Just claws into the face with the
Okay.
inflict wounds.
Holy shit.
Sounds good to me.
So I roll with advantage? Is that what you-
Yeah, you have advantage.
Third level.
Okay.
Oh my god.
21 to hit.
Goodness gracious.
27 necrotic.
27. As you kind of claw into him, the necrotic just energy causing part of his face to rot off. His eyes kind of tell the pain that he's feeling.
Awesome.
He looks really hurt. You can see his eyes are getting
Yeah?
droopy. He is very hurt.
And with my bonus action, I will.
Kick him in the nuts. I don't know if that's a bonus action, but it should be.
No, I was like I can telekinetically shove someone, but everyone looks like they're in good spaces. This is fine.
Draven.
I'm good.
I wonder how resilient.
Actually, he's stunned. I have a little bit more movement. I'll step 5 feet away.
Can't hit you.
Yeah.
You see his eyes
Just
just glaring
wave.
at you with
Bye.
just pure fury.
Yeah.
Toodaloo.
Dope.
GTFN.
Bonus action, Draven is going to form of dread. So this dark elf is basically engulfed with shadow, and a large snout starts to appear over the face. And I kind of just growl at this dark elf, and I'm just gonna run past them, and they can roll an attack of opportunity if they really feel like they're about that life.
He is about that life.
Go for it.
It's about that.
He gets disadvantage because it's so bright. That's only an 11. He's not about that life.
That's not gonna hit. And then Draven basically like the shadow starts kissing the blade, almost like an extended clawed arm, and he's just trying to drive that into like more of like Skerner's shoulder. So he's not trying to take out his heart, but like it's a possibility.
It happens.
13 will miss, I think.
13 does miss, I'm afraid.
But then bonus action, because of the boost from Fenrir, I'm going to use one of my bites.
Okay.
Where is that? Too many damn things. 22.
22 hits.
And I'm going to put, because I'm leveled up in Warlock, I have level 2 spell slots. I'm going to put a second level spell slot into the smite of my bite.
Okay.
Smite bite.
Smite 2,
for
bite 2.
10 radiant, 5 piercing.
He is ridiculously hurt. You bite into him, and you can feel just your jaws just clamp down. You draw in the blood. You can feel like his heart is racing. It goes from like a kind of a semi-fast blood flow that you'd expect from like adrenaline to much faster as he's kind of panicking and getting closer to you, and it starts to slow down from you draining his blood. He's on the edge of death.
Joe, when a familiar attacks, do you have to command it as an action or bonus action, or can they automatically do that on your turn once?
Technically, familiars go on their own turn, I believe. I remember right.
That
with
one a
Find
little
Familiar.
bit different.
Yes. Did you take Pact to the Chain?
Yes, I did.
Let me double check. Warlock Pact to the Chain.
Because I've technically had an invisible sprite with me this whole time.
You have
That's
indeed.
who Draven was talking to when you all were wondering who he was talking to at the campfire.
Right,
I would
yes.
check with Pact to the Chain. I'm just wondering because it's
Yeah.
normal familiar
I'll
doesn't
turn
usually get an
members.
attack, so I know Pact to the Chain does. So I'm wondering if you have to spend an action.
It's really annoying because they keep changing it. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's-
like
yeah.
old,
Feels like you
old
get it,
stuff
and then you
is
don't.
like
Yeah.
it's like old stuff you have to normally give it like a command to do stuff, and then like the newer summons and the newer like classes that have pets,
I can
it's just like
forego
a
an
ghost.
attack action on my
Yeah.
turn
On that too.
too. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
It's so dumb. It's so inconsistent.
Yeah, you have to find it. You have to. I look up the same things about 6 times a day.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's so you
That's
drop an attack that you have. To
Draven just kind of spits and growls and laughs.
very close to death.
Cackling.
This one I'm
To be on
holding.
like 1 HP. Come on.
What do I know about this?
What do you know about which one? Which bit? Sorry.
The wand I took. Do I know anything about this, or will I have to spend some time
What
with it later?
languages can you read?
I can read all languages.
Whoa.
All right, smarty pants. Looks down barrel of wand. No, don't look at it like that. Shoots self in face.
Wait, can you actually
In
read?
fact,
Barrel of wine.
with comprehend languages, I can.
Thank
Okay.
you for not leaving me hanging.
Currently, there is a bit of celestial writing on it. If you're not in comprehend language, you can't speak celestial. You'll just recognize the celestial kind of writing itself, not what it says. You have to cast comprehend language just to see.
I have to cast it. Yeah. Well, I am. How's everyone looking injured wise? Like injury wise?
I am. Okay.
Look like one little light tap. Apart from that, I'm good.
And I'm just trying to get the situation to figure out what Guru would be doing. I turned back to the fight with Frey. What's happening there?
In Frey's battle, since you guys have gone on, you can
Looked
see
up.
he's killed one of the 3 gods. He's killed the Northern Wind one. You see he's kind of just driven this spear straight down to his chest. And you can see he's now kind of trying to make his way to fight against Baia. She's flying up to fight him, shooting beams towards him. He's moving away around the side of them, trying to find a way to get close to her. Meanwhile, his 2...
The bee guy is still alive.
You can see the bees coming in and out of the bushes, and you can see the bigger of the 2 guards of Frey is kind of sweltering with these kind of great big kind of essentially just bee wounds, and he's causing his whole face to kind of swell up and part of his body, and he kind of looks a bit wounded. But Frey himself looks a little bit burned, but mostly just kind of into it.
Gods. Got it. Okay. All right. And he's stunned, correct?
He is stunned.
So he can't talk at all?
Currently, no. He's locked. His eyes still work.
I think Guru would walk over and he would just state, such a shame. You didn't really plan this accordingly, did you? And then he draws his blade and tries to go for the finishing slash.
It's the thing where he talks before he does it. Oh no.
I did it. I'm doing it. It's over. And then I trip and fall on my own blade.
No shit, I shouldn't have said
Your
anything.
advantage. So those are you got a chance.
I believe in you.
Critical hit.
Hey!
Do you want to describe how you kill Skerner?
So Guru really was trying to debate whether he should do it or not. He's trying to do this as merciful as possible. He doesn't want to appear as he's like some violent, bloodthirsty Cyclops. He's heard those stories all his life and has been treated that way. So he tries to do it as mercifully as possible. He grabs the back of the head and he'll just say, such a shame. And then you will see as he just stabs I guess the most merciful way to do it, and it actually sounds awful.
Willoughby's like peeking around the mushroom.
He pulls back his head and stabs up through his neck to try and hit the brainstem.
Yeah.
So that it's an instant death.
Yeah.
And then pulls the sword out.
It's kind of a moment his eyes kind of turn to you, and then just silence as he dies. His body drops to the ground. The 3 dark elves are still in this fight, though, against you.
Right.
I was kind of hoping those guys would give up, but
Are
okay.
you sure you want to keep fighting?
I want the smoke.
So Guru, is it an action? Oh, I can talk, right?
Yeah, it was a free action, yeah.
Guru would turn to the Dark Elves and state, "You have failed this day, and your fight against Frey is failing as well. Flee now."
You guys are losers. Get out.
Roll an intimidation check.
And put my hands up like letting you go.
Flee now, and we will spare your life. Oh my god, I got a good intimidation. Let's freaking go.
Let's do it.
Did it again with
26.
Holy shit!
I like to
Funny.
imagine Guru is holding the bloodied sword that he just killed their leader with.
Just accidentally so intimidating.
That's a nat
An
20 for
apple
chat,
rolls
by the
out
way.
of
When he
his
says 26,
pocket.
he means a nat 20, 26.
Nat 20, 26, yeah.
You see all
And
3 of them
so,
go.
as the silence, sorry, I just want to, like,
Yep.
if a silence falls and there's a delay, Guru will just scream, "Run!"
Yeah,
You
dude.
can see, if you don't do anything else in your turn, as their turn is next,
Yes.
all 3 of them take off, and they spend their dash action just flying as far south as they can. Well, I'd probably actually, south, because they don't want to go towards you, and they don't want to go towards Frey. That's the only direction that neither of that's in. They fly the hell out of there and head towards the exit. If you guys let them, that is, you can obviously stop them if you like, but otherwise they're going to take the dash action and just keep flying and trying to rush the hell out of it.
Yeah, I don't want to fight those guys.
Anyone want to do anything, or are you letting them go?
I'm a
No,
little
I'd
sleepy.
let them go.
I already used a spell slot. I don't want to use anymore.
The hell
Did
just
the
happened?
tree fall over?
Yeah, I was gonna say that the thing Willoughby was going to do with the duration of call lightning is fucking absolutely scorch the
Yeah.
earth of this tree with like 8 lightning bolts.
Yeah, you can, whilst they fly off, and you just spend your time just bolt after bolt hitting against this tree. You see it kind of shatters. And by the 4th bolt or so, you see as it burns up, all of these burn down, and the tree just stands smoldering, burning, dying, dead.
Joe.
Yeah.
Once the encounter ends, and we're out of initiative order, there are 2 things I want to let you know that Guru is doing immediately so as not to waste time.
Okay.
First, Guru will be casting his comprehend languages to see if he can read what the wand states.
Okay.
And then the second thing he's going to be doing is start casting the identify spell for the next minute. Like,
Okay.
wasting no time. He wants to know what he's holding.
Okay.
Especially while Frey's up there fighting. He wants to know what this is.
You first read the little kind of words on it, and you can see it says Gambantine, which you understand in Celestial and kind of linked to the words of Asgard, means magic wand, but in a very kind of literal sense.
Oh,
for
buddy.
fuck's sake.
But during your reading, when you cast Identify,
Yes.
the magical properties are not revealed to you. Instead, those
Oh,
words
shit.
start kind of, all the letters start to morph in front of you and change and form out a small little poem. It says, "Seest thou thief, the wand you hold, its secret shalt be hidden, as likely to open as a 3-headed giant is to wed. In such circumstance, thou may seek use, thief." I'll link it for you. And you realize
so-
that this has a magical, essentially lock. It will
Like, we
only
have to
open
figure it out.
if you figure it out. If you solve it.
That's cool. While Guru's doing that, I'm going to walk around and see if there's any fruit on the ground and then smush it. Like any,
Yeah.
know, fruit that looks like someone could go and eat it.
Okay.
And then I will say, so it seems like they weren't really like mind controlled by the fruit, right? It was like Skerner talking, like
I think
convincing them. So like if they eat the fruit, they're not going to go like crazy, but also we probably shouldn't leave any around.
Well,
I
I'd like to
don't-
take a look at least one of them.
Yes.
Try not to
Could we save
completely
one of
destroy
them?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
think-
only like had
if
time
there's
to
a-
like stamp like 4 of them, so there's still plenty of.
My thing is, I think we should let. This is
I
my
think
thoughts. I think we should let Willoughby examine them and see what we can figure. I mean, it sounds like this Skerner was manipulating and convincing the Dark Elves for ultimately their purpose of trying to overthrow Frey. I don't imagine this Skerner was actually doing it because they wanted to help the elves. They seemed
No, I
a
don't.
bit more self-serving than that. But it may be that this fruit, I mean, it does help the Dark Elves. I mean, the Light Elves here have always been, they seem to have unfair advantages, but I guess maybe it's not our place to interfere. I'm not really sure what to do
don't-
here.
How far is the Frey fight from us?
Currently, during your conversation, you can't really see what's happening, but you occasionally see like beams of just like magic shoot off into the trees and start
Okay.
kind of starting small fires. And there's a
I
moment
think,
a little bit just after
sorry.
that, during whilst you're watching, where you just see, and a body just skids against her and slamming against it, and you recognize it's the body of the god of beekeeping, as Aristeus' body
Fuck the
just
bee
skids across the ground. And all the bees just kind of fall out of these like kind of various holes in his mouth and eyes
Ew, no.
and lie dead. He lies there dead.
We should be off.
I'm going to grab one of the fruits that I don't smash, and I'm going to say, I feel like it feels like maybe Frey wouldn't want to see the tree be okay, so we should keep one safe just in case. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that he should make the choice for Do you know what I'm saying? Like we keep something safe.
Maybe we could. Maybe if we keep one, we could give it to Balder, who seemed to actually care about Alfheim, and maybe
That
Balder will
goes
know
as
what to
well.
do. Okay, good. I'm happy with
You
that.
should take a look at what this is.
Yeah.
We can take.
Okay.
We'll grab a couple and then just sort of.
Yeah.
Then we should really be off.
Yeah, I don't want
Oh,
to.
yes.
Also, I don't like. The bee guys right there don't really like bees.
Does this mean that the dark bubble will stop?
Yeah, does it look like
Good
it? I don't know. It's really bright here
The
still.
moment the trees started dying, you can see that the moonlight is fading, and the darkness on the outside is starting to kind of just like almost merge with the outside darkness. It seems almost like the light's now kind of getting thinner.
I'll drop the daylight as well.
Now it's much clearer. You can see as
Aside from the
light going
giant
down.
storm
That's true.
for the next 10 minutes.
Zapping that tree to splinters.
I do want to put a couple of fruit in Draven's bag as well, but also I want to look through Skerner's pockets
Okay.
to see if there was anything else in there.
Yeah, you can roll an investigation check.
Look at this man actually looting. I love it.
I had like 3 things, but y'all were role playing.
No. Yeah, no, it's good.
Oh, we
I-
love it.
I think it's a
Love it
good
here.
thing.
We love it here.
I never remember to loot bad guys in D&D.
Question.
Yeah.
So while this is all going on, I would like to use my Cyclops ability
Mm-hmm.
of, and I'm gonna butcher the word of augury.
Yeah. Okay. I think that is the way you say it. Yeah. Augury.
Augury, cool. So you're just gonna, I'm just gonna get very quiet.
Okay.
While I'm casting this, and I meditate to myself. Do I ask a question, or do I just? I'm trying to figure out.
So you, if I remember right with it, let me get it up actually, just in case it has any specific things. But you basically are asking, beseeching, kind of like a request to something you
Which is
plan
very
to do,
funny.
whether it will have good or bad results. So, for example, if you were like wondering, would it be a smart way to go down this road? You know, it can kind of do that. Or do you think I should give this to this person? It can give you good or bad results. So in this regard, what action are you trying to work out the results of?
I'll message you.
Okay.
Excuse me.
What would you use for your augury? Like, what item do you kind of use as a way of kind of seeing if something is good or bad?
You know, Guru's a little scamp.
Yep.
He'll hold up the wand he just got.
I would say you see the wand glimmer and glow. And then you see the letters. Only you see this because of comprehend languages. Letters form and turn into a skull with a single eye in the middle.
I figured. I say quietly to myself, and then just put the wand in my bag and go, right, we should be off.
So are you leaving the area?
Didn't someone say they were looting Skerner?
Yeah, I was living.
Yeah,
Oh, so
Draven wants a few
We didn't.
things.
I didn't hear about.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't me being like,
No,
and
no,
then
no,
we
no,
leave. Yeah, that's
And
just
then
me
walk
saying.
away.
Yeah, that's just me being
and-
like, right.
With a 4, you don't find any like hidden companion kind of pouches or anything. I will say that it doesn't seem like he's a materialistic person, so you're not expecting to find anything like that. You'd find kind of genuinely like in his pocket is a series of kind of very small chains, but they seem non-magical. It seems like his kind of natural ability was able to turn them into magical. But it's like a bunch of little very small chains. Other than that, probably not much of worth. He seemed to be. He might have had just a small dagger on him, but it doesn't seem anything. It's not some special dagger. It just seems a backup weapon in case his mind let him down. But he seemed to be very kind of confident in his own abilities and his wand.
I'm gonna go take the bee god and just throw him over my shoulder.
Okay.
Ooh, good show.
That's so
Collecting-
Draven.
Got a plan
Collecting
for
the
that,
corpses
or
of
are
gods.
we just taking that with us?
Bites the leg and starts to taste their blood.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
You
Hold on, I'm sorry. Guru would see that, and he has to ask,
his one eye gets really big.
does it taste like honey?
I was about to say it definitely tastes like honey. You can there's a kind of a
Nice.
sweetness to his blood. Have you been hit at all in this combat?
What?
Have you been hit at all? Have you taken any damage?
No, because of my temp. It wasn't enough to.
Then I would say
Winky face.
Well, actually, no. I was 4 points down because it was 9 points that I took.
then it would heal you. You drink this
Nice.
and you heal for 11 points. As
Are you
just-
rolling something?
Yes.
Because of my Pact of the Chained Familiar, I gain max rolled points to heal myself.
It'd be a D12. You healed 12 points of healing. And
Incredible.
you just feel as like the blood comes into you and the cut you took. It'd be in your mind, but you just feel your body restored. Taste of a god. Have you ever tasted God before? You don't have to answer that one out loud. If the
Joe, you know the answer to that question.
Is
Draven smiles like he is yet again like he's had a drink that it's been a while.
Mhm.
For
Guru's still looking.
I'm going to.
He wants
While
that
that's
answer.
happening, I'll take one of my actual daggers out and I'll look at Eldred and I'll just say telepathically to her. Because Skerner's like intact, right? Like nothing. Like he's just a whole full
Just,
corpse. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
only got stabbed, right? Is what I'm
Yeah.
asking. Okay, I'm going to say to Eldred, I'm going to kind of gesture at the bones she has. Do you want a souvenir?
I'm debating it. Where are we going from here?
I don't know, but we should go fast. So if you want something, I can take like a finger or something, but you want like a god finger?
Oh, yeah.
I just tried to
Yeah,
slice a
I
finger
went-
off of Skerner's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skerner's not a god.
Yeah.
He's like a god
Not
adjacent.
Skerner, the B one, the B guy.
Yeah, I'll do one of each.
Currently
better
being
ask.
used right now, yeah.
You better ask before
Skerner's
you
god
mess with my
adjacent.
food.
Reaching
We're
out
going
and
to
grabbing
take
a
one.
fry.
Friends,
And,
friends, let's dissect body parts of lesser gods
I
when
thought
we
you were.
are
I'm
not
going
here.
to look at Draven.
You'd
I thought
hear-
you were taking him.
As you're talking altogether, you hear the screech of Bayer. She goes, ah! And then you just see she flies up into the air, and then jumping up the branches after him, you can see Frey's kind of climbing up the tree, coming after her. And you see her kind of fly back down into the tree. She's cut and bloody.
We need to go. We need to go.
We should.
Yeah, as. Yeah, let's go.
We got a timer.
Considering
It's dead
as
gods.
we leave, just having the fucking lightning just shoot that person on loop, just to help, just to like put in a good word with another god. But I don't really want to get
I mean, you
get
can.
us caught up in that.
Can I, as Willoughby's contemplating that, Juno just wants to get the seed on the way out because I want some hit points.
Okay, yeah.
Oh
Walk
shit!
and see.
Yeah, step on it.
I step on the seed.
Step on it, you feel it.
Was it
kind of-
1d4 plus 5?
How much
Willoughby,
healing is it?
what's your
Willoughby?
seed?
It's 1d4 plus 5, yeah.
1d4 plus 5. Oh. I'll do it.
My
As I
friend,
straighten up from slicing off a finger from Skerner, I'm going to
Six.
look like my own self again.
Okay.
Just shake it off.
So just to ask, as a group, are you leaving the area?
oh yeah.
Okay.
That's Guru's vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it looks like the darkness
I
is
will
fixed.
follow. Yeah, if everyone is happy. I'm
Oh, wait,
happy.
wait, the light elves, free them? Where are they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're in the trees around us, right? I've got a couple fruits in my bag. They can cut them down.
We can go
I
on.
could probably shoot them down with lightning. I'm not sure how safe that is. So.
I can move pretty quick. Like, if you point me in the direction, I can go and free them and then meet
Do
up
you
with
want
you
to
if you
take
want to
one
get
of my
out of here.
daggers to cut?
Willoughby, why do you want to
No,
hit
I'll be
things
okay.
with lightning so bad?
It's just honestly, it's a really fun move.
It looks absolutely like a hoot.
Oh, it's great.
How many can we see like stuck in the trees?
Further south from you, probably about 7, 8 in just various trees in different portions. A couple of them have been transforming into this kind of dark elf looking kind of carapace and starting to kind of transform into the what you've seen before, but most of them are untouched at the moment. They're kind of hanging from these little canopies, these little
Wait,
cages.
so there are some that are in mid-transformation, and we know that that's bad for them.
You know that they're at least going to become like the dark elves you saw.
They're gonna at least have hardened, like a
Yeah.
carapace
Right.
and whatever.
Well,
Just go
we could
mad?
take care of that, winky face to Willoughby.
No.
Well, we don't know for sure, right? Because we never met a dark or light elf that, right?
Well,
We
I was just
know
gonna. I was
They're
going to
just-
like,
they're gonna act
literally
like the other
clocking
dark
that.
elves.
Willoughby, I think, would, despite the fact that we need to leave, I think he knows he can cast Lesser Restoration to try to undo that process if it was done to them.
I think
against
between
their will.
Juno and Lena, we can both move pretty quickly, right?
I'm
So-
freeing these elves. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Juno is already moving up to
Lena
free
will
the
try to get
elves
a
and
couple
stuff
too.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we went here to help with this. I don't think
Yeah.
Willoughby would want to leave, even with the fact he does not want to deal with the
He does not
aftermath
want
of this
Frey,
god
yeah.
Frey.
Telepathically, I'm going to say to Eldred, they're not cats in trees, but like, it's kind of similar, right? And then I'm going to keep trying to free them.
That just
You see a
help.
light Thank you. As you're kind of cutting it down. Because you're spending the extra time to do so, you can hear
Yeah.
kind of walking
Sounds
through the tree
good.
line, wiping blood from his face. You see Frey kind of flick off.
Draven would definitely try to be closer to intercept Frey if there was a chance for him to come interrupt everyone trying to free the elves.
As you're kind of
Yeah,
freeing
I'm
those,
trying to free the elves, so I'm up there.
he steps closer as you guys are kind of climbing to the trees, and he stops in front of you, Draven, looks over your shoulder. That's the one I was looking for. We're gonna
Well
try and
done.
do resurrect him.
No.
And then Draven shows the pricks in the leg and then drops his disguised self.
I see. So you're just a vulture finding scraps. Let me check if he's dead first. He kind of grabs him by the head, like leaning across you. Looks at him. Yeah, I think I got him good. Drops it down, wipes his hands, and wipes it against the clothes of the bee god. And glances at you.
Excuse me.
What's this about?
What? The freeing of the elves.
No, your group.
Oh. They are mercenaries who are not sworn to any god, as I've seen.
Who destroyed the tree?
Are you happy about it?
You can answer the question first, I'll let you know.
But I did answer your first question. Isn't this give and take?
I just got stabbed
I
3
can heal
times
it.
in my back.
Oh no.
Would you like me to fix that?
Go for it.
And then Draven will pump 14 points of lay on hands into him.
You see one of the wounds kind of knits over.
Is that at least a fair trade for? Are you happy about it?
I'm happy about it. Though I'm a little unhappy that I wasn't the one to kill Skerner.
Would you like me to bring him back? In a sense.
No. He's not in Valhalla. In fact, I don't even know where he'd be. I'd rather he stay in whatever hell pit he's in. He looks across his yard, kind of like letting some of the lighthouse down, some of them smaller and meek.
It was in fact us, though, yes. The tree was a problem that needed to be resolved.
It did. It got me all the way out here to Alfheim. It wasn't really the season I wanted to come back in, so. You hear kind of shouting in the distance and like. Roll a perception check, Draven, as you're closest.
15.
You can just make out a few of the words, and it's please and let me go. And you can hear as in the distance you see one of his two kind of followers is pretty injured, the other one a little bit bloody but holding on to a de-winged fire in the distance. She looks very wounded. I kind of grab and hold her and waiting for Frey. Looks back. I'll be with you in a second. Well, send my regards to your friends. These fucking elves don't know how to look after themselves, do they? Huh.
Most
Maybe-
mortals don't.
Most mortals don't. Maybe they just need a couple of seasons without my aid. Remind them exactly who's in charge. Alright. Appreciate the help. Did Skerner happen to mention a magical sword?
No, we did not.
Even in his grave, he spites me. What's your name again?
Draven,
Draven.
would you like more assistance then, Frey? Because we are often for hire.
You handled yourselves well? You killed him. Alright. Let me go and get this one back to Asgard. And then I'm see what I can kind of throw your way. Maybe test the waters, and if you prove yourselves, maybe, sure. My grouping is without one additional member, and I like to keep a little band of my merry friends around me.
Lovely.
Lovely indeed. Alright. Enjoy your stay in Alfheim, it's lovely. Not this time of season, though. And he kind of turns and walks off. And you hear him whistling as he goes. And you hear him shout, Alright, you two. Loverbirds. Throw it on the back of Gullenbusty. And he undoes his chain, drops it to the ground. The boar appears. You see as they start strapping her across the back of it, and he climbs up on top. You can marching off into the distance. The rest of you are freeing these light elves.
Draven's gonna walk back to Lena and then point towards his head.
I don't say telepathically what this up, but still.
And he can speak back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You got 3 hours.
telepathically
Okay.
speaks back everything that happened, so as not to say it out loud.
Right. Okay.
Does only Lena hear that, or is it like all of us? Are we like linked in a group call, or is this like a one-to-one?
I think you're all linked, but like you could direct it at like one person, I think.
Okay, so Draven
really
could
know.
choose
That's just
to
how
only
I
tell
interpret
Lena.
it.
Okay.
I don't know. His goal was to have it go to Lena, and then if Lena could distribute it in whatever way, but if we're all connected still, then it's
Yeah, Juno and Eldred are connected as well at
Yeah.
this point, so we'd only have to tell.
I imagine
so
like
Joe-
thoughts are kind of like a river. Like you, as it's coming through
Yeah.
to you, you can kind of drift it to the others as well.
Okay.
Interesting.
I do not like the way that ended up, but what's done is done. I don't like the fact that he was so happy about it all. Mainly because I don't like him. He seems like an ass.
I
Well,
think
this is a war.
subconsciously Lena's taken her Loki coin out, and she says telepathically, but she's looking at Willoughby and Guru like she says, first of all, we need to be able to tell them what's going on. I don't know, maybe Guru, maybe not, but Willoughby for sure.
Trust Guru.
What the fuck is with Frey like, oh, they need to know what it's like to be a few seasons without me, bitch, you haven't been here this whole time. Baldur
That's-
said that you haven't even been here. What a dick.
Yeah, that's the bit I did not like. That was the bit I took most disagreement with. And I just...
Eldred,
sorry,
can you
Draven.
tell Willoughby?
Oh, you
Which
said that's the
part?
case with May Kings.
All of the part. Like, I don't know. I can't, like, I could only get us in.
Willoughby, here's the deal.
I'm busy tending to people medically. Can you save the
They
deal for
want
one
me
more
to
second?
Tell you these things.
You can see the lighthouse in front of you. Like, thank you so much. But you get this kind of crossover of thoughts where you can hear Eldred. You hear their
Word
speaking.
vomit.
Yeah, I'd say the most important thing would be doing is casting lesser restoration on the elves that had eaten this fruit and were changing against their will, seemingly, to get rid of that process. If that's something that lesser restoration and tend to.
And if it helps, like Juno's probably using golden wisdom to try and like hold them in place if like they're like if they're being aggressive towards Willoughby or trying to avoid him touching them and stuff. Juno will help.
Elena will say, sorry, go on.
You can see that lesser restoration, just to address a point at a time, at this stage of the transformation, before they're fully transformed, fixes them.
Perfect.
You can see it kind of battles against it, and then the carapace form almost drops off almost like dead skin. It kind of just peels off and then falls to the ground. You can see that they're back to themselves underneath.
Out loud, I will say, all right, so we go back to Ale. We tell them that it is done. We go back to the Dark Elf place first and tell them it is done.
Yeah.
Whichever's closest.
Well, Dark Elf, I just forgot what it was called. Whatever that place was
Oh,
called.
the Dark
where
Elf.
it was with the kids. Fuck, I don't know. Am I making that up?
No, Underu is the place that you were just at.
Underu. Right.
You just the previous one. I just don't know if you ever got the name of the place.
No, maybe we didn't.
It was near the lift. I remember
that
we
place
went down
with
the
lift,
lift,
the festival and the kid. Like,
the kids,
we want to go back there, tell them like, hey, don't worry, we took care of it, and then go back to Ale so we can tell.
Once the guru is done, he will also help with the lesser restoration if any more need to be healed.
You'd see his guru, by the way, Willoughby walk beside you, and as he leans down to help, hanging from his belt is the head of Skerner.
Whoa.
Can you get that out of these folks? Probably don't need a dangling head in front of them right now. Can you just move
yes,
that
of
to
course.
the back?
Actually, Guru, could perhaps you and Eldred, there was something that Draven said, and telepathically I'll tell Eldred and Lena. Frey was interested in some sort of magic sword, and he said Skerner knew about it. Eldred, could you speak with the head?
Yeah.
Maybe ask and see if it knows anything about the magic sword that Frey was talking about. Maybe?
Fellow Death Whisperer.
Don't know that he would tell me, but
just like,
hey, he's dead. Maybe if it's he didn't like Frey. Maybe phrase it as a way of hey, listen, you might get.
Hey, that's Frey's a dick.
I know we
Did
killed you,
steal a
but
sword from
yeah,
me?
hey, we know we killed you, but if you want to get one over on Frey, you could always tell us where that sword is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he won't talk to you, but it's worth a try, right? If we've got the head here to ask.
Sure.
I don't know. What do you think? And
I'm already heading for it. I'm like leaning down, like I'm talking to a little kid, to the head. And
the head's like stole my belt, and I'm like,
yeah.
I could hand it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
But I would like it back if possible. And he hands it to you.
Sure. The skulls aren't great for armor. And I will whisper, and just start to glow a little and start to hinge the jaw with some memories of a spirit. I can speak with the dead.
What's going on, brother? Just like mega mimir vibes.
Incredible. You see its eyes start to move again, and its mouth goes. And it locks in, looking at you. The spirit of Skerner has entered the body.
Hello, my sorry friend. So Freyr is a bit of a douchebag. He's concerned about a sword. If we would like to be a thorn in his side, what is this? What do you know of this sword?
Roll a persuasion check, but you can add your wisdom because it's through your magic.
Come on, I believe in you.
Okay. So proficiency is 3, so I will add 3. 24.
24. He loved that sword. He gave it to me to convince a giant to marry him. He always wanted it back. I knew he'd steal it from me. So I gave it as a gift to someone else. It now lies in the hands of someone named Apollo, who I believe gave it to a champion of his named Achilles.
What the fuck?
Okay. Gabe's done.
What does this sword do?
It is capable of moving with one's thought.
Oh, that's cool.
It is speedy, fast, and deadly. Frey used to bring his sword into combat with him and
Oh, fuck, this is
fight
Ingrid.
enemies, killing off hundreds with just his whistle tones, and now when he whistles, he's alone.
Guys, any other questions? I have more questions to ask.
Where was the last time, where did you meet Apollo, or when was the last time, when did, oh yeah, maybe ask about that, that's more important. Yes. What?
No, I mean that was a good one too. Where did they get the fruit? Like, where did it come from?
Where did the fruit come from?
We stole it. Myself and the other 3 gods. I was making deals with them in Mesogaya. We stole them from the garden of Hecate.
Elbows Eldred really hard. No, I'm kidding.
Guru writes out a poem he read from the wand, like scribbles it on a piece of parchment, and it's after it he just puts a bunch of question marks as in like, what's the answer to this riddle, and he hands it to Eldred. He points at it like, say the line, Eldred.
What does it say?
It's the poem that's linked in our yeah.
How do you unlock your wand?
Another persuasion check for me, if you could. With which
Sorry, we took it.
Guru is trying to get the answer to the riddle, but I suppose that works as well.
10.
That's it's more direct. Yeah.
it is literal. You tried to steal from me. You can wed a 3-headed giant. Find it love. The wand will be open to you. Good luck.
Okay. Was that 4 questions? 3 or 4?
Oh.
That was 4.
4. Any more? One more.
What was he trying to do? Maybe this is like, I'm not saying to ask this. This is Juno saying, like, looking at the others, like maybe what he was trying to do here, or I mean, maybe we already know he was trying to overthrow Frey. I don't know. Too many questions. That's my problem. There's too many things I want to know and have answers to. I look at the others, like if anybody's got suggestions.
How did someone like this get a chance to speak to Apollo?
How did they
Because
meet?
they're,
I guess the other 3 gods, right? The 3 Mesogaians.
you think, but the,
No, I think I think Draven's right.
that would mean Skerner had to get to Mesogaya, meet with these gods, make an impression, convince them to come back. Skerner was nothing.
Maybe we ask what convinced. Maybe we ask what convinced Apollo to meet with you, or how did you meet Apollo?
Get an audience with Apollo or something, yeah.
How did you get an audience with Apollo?
I did so with Bia. She was more friendly with Apollo than I was. Her family ties. Her sister Nike managed to get us an audience, and she spoke on my behalf. I gave it to her as a gift.
The sword.
I sought favor. Mesogaya is going to win. I was just picking sides. And now I am cold.
Yeah, that's what you get for stealing from Hecate.
His eyes looked towards you. The garden was so open. We did what we must. And then its head lolls to the side. You see it go back to dead eyes, and its mouth just...
I just throw it to Guru.
Oh, thank you.
Hecate.
It's a bit wet for the blood, but you get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I put it in a leather satchel.
That was a lot more enlightening than I thought it was going to be.
Definitely a good idea.
You guys know of this Apollo Achilles?
I know of,
Do you
I mean,
know them like
did-
personally? You just know who
well,
they are.
Apollo, big one. I definitely heard that one. Achilles.
Achilles, I want to check one thing with Joe, and then also was because obviously we saw Gabe reacting, but was Draven just like steely faced, or was there like a flash of like something when they said the names? Because we saw Gabe react, but I want to know if Draven
knows
reacted that
enough
way.
about who Apollo is to not be happy about this.
Yeah, but also like Achilles, you seem to be like, fuck.
No one asked.
Okay, okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, did we see like any sort of like reaction when that name came up? But
Draven was definitely not happy about Apollo, and then hearing the notion of the sword being given to a champion is also something that Draven would have been confused and kind of frustrated about.
Okay.
In his appearance.
Yeah. And then Achilles, Joe, I'm assuming is like normally Achilles, a mortal champion, basically, like sort of like, Hercules, like not demigod, right? Achilles wasn't a demigod, but he was like a chosen champion of the gods.
Yeah, Achilles essentially is probably the greatest of the mortals. He is in my world essentially what you guys are, but just well ahead of you. Like he's been given a bunch of boons, and like he's been given like so much favor that
I mean, he's famous, right? Like across Mesogaia.
Seriously famous, yeah.
Yeah, so like Juno would probably say Apollo, is the god of Mesogaia, of the sun, and pulling the sun across the sky. But Achilles is a mortal champion, and a great hero of many tales and stories and legends, of course, many years, has performed many incredible feats.
Is he like a good guy? Is he kind of shitty?
Stories, as we know, Lena, stories sure paint him as a hero, but that doesn't mean that he is. For all I know, he's an asshole, but stories certainly paint him as this great hero who goes around saving people and winning duels and battles and all sorts. But I can't imagine that he's going to live up to any of that. But if he's been given a sword of Frey that was given to Apollo, I mean, he must be heavily favored by Apollo. They talked, I imagine so. Juno sort of trails off in that last bit, realizing that there is somebody in the team that isn't part of the team, and so just sort of like trails off a little bit. And then I mean, Apollo would be a dangerous foe if we were to face them. Achilles would be a dangerous foe.
What's the deal with the wand? Looks like
No, he said to literally wed a three-headed giant and then it works. But like, what was Skerner married to a three-headed giant?
Yeah. It might have been something that he placed. Maybe a foul joke.
He started it. Okay, maybe.
All right,
Give it some time.
Garden
Give me
of
some time.
Hecate
I'll try to find a solution.
for the fruit.
If
Go
it's
to
literal though, we could
Massacre
just.
to get a sword if we feel like it.
It's not like we have to marry the giant. You just have to find the three-headed giant and have them marry
mean,
someone.
Correct.
Who wants to get married? I've done it already.
From what I can
Also,
tell
I
of
think
your
I'm
lands,
still married, right? Like, I don't. Do you stop? Well, no, you stop
I-
being married
I-
if they're dead. How does
I don't know if you have to actually marry a three-headed
don't really want
giant,
to get
like an
married,
actual.
yeah.
From what I've seen of this land and your skulls and these tales, I think it is a riddle and it's probably going to be some bullshit. But I'm sure we can figure that out along
Said
the
it
way.
was literal.
Okay, so
But I don't think I think it's probably like the three-headed giant isn't the three-headed giant that we think it is. I think
right,
that's
yeah,
probably.
like yeah.
Yeah.
Be
Okay,
anything
so-
that is big, 3 heads.
Yeah.
So
let us start
I-
going back to the village, right? We can walk and talk. We don't need to stay
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah. I honestly think that maybe we just need to head back to Ale. I don't know if we need to tell the Dark Elves that we've
Well,
done
can't
this.
we
I'm
take
not
the
even
lift
sure.
though? Like we go.
Oh,
there,
that's
we
true.
get the
Yeah, and we
lift
get
go
the
up and
lift.
fly back.
Yeah,
It will be
that's
faster,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Did someone
Weeks for
mention?
teleport to another character. Like-
Did someone mention that you'd be going to speak to Balder?
Oh, like your friend, right? Because you're friends with Bolter, and he said, "Oh, take my friend Guru to the thing." Yeah, we have to probably check in with him.
He
Why?
was the one. I mean, he was the one who kind of put us on this path. I mean, it makes sense
Yeah.
to go and let him know, especially
Well,
that
can
Frey
you, like,
was
call him or
involved.
Let him
something?
know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we got to let
Also,
him know
that
about
part
all
we
this
should
Frey
definitely-
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Balder just has to like take over Alfheim because Frey sucks so bad?
It sounds like he wasn't prepared to make a move against his brother like that, but I don't know.
We didn't
Are
see
they
where
bro-
B landed, did we?
Where the bee god?
No, sorry,
Oh, you bit
Abia.
him. They took her.
Oh no, they took her.
Yeah.
Oh,
They had
Yeah.
her. They stripped off her wings and then they took her with.
that's worse.
Yeah.
I think that's a conversation. Again, Juno's like looking at them and is like, yeah, maybe when Guru's not with us, we might have to have a chat about that because that will tie into the sword and the Nike and stuff like that.
Hey, I wanna do an insight check, specifically in response to Guru asking if we were going to go and see Balder, because that
Okay.
felt really out of nowhere. I'd like to use the Joy Killer ring to give myself advantage.
Fuck yeah,
an insight
dude.
check to guess his mood
Okay.
upon
Do
me
it.
confirming that we're going to see Balder.
I like the classic thing of like Juno, Lena, Eldrin, and Draven all having this conversation,
22.
and then Willoughby just being quiet, watching
Yeah.
Guru in the background, just like this motherfucker's suspicious as fuck. I don't trust him.
Just oof. I mean, there's a lot of feelings that he's made known to you before. It's the feeling of like disappointment, a little bit of anger, and just acceptance to the fact. So he just kind of like silences himself a little bit after you confirmed it and went, well, all right then.
Okay.
Where would you like to head to?
Closest
Maybe go
place I
back.
think we can take a lift
Where's the
up. I mean,
lift?
do we want to
Yeah.
do like the village and confirm with them? I think that's a pretty hefty extra detour, especially since we have.
It's where the lift is, though.
Oh,
like,
is it? Okay, then yeah. let's-
Yeah.
Right?
It was at
We
the
came
bottom
down
of the lift.
and the village
Yeah.
was at the bottom. So like, we
Yep,
just
yep.
go there and are like, "What's up? We fixed it. We gotta go up the lift."
We're heading to the lift anyway.
Okay. It would take you a day and a half to get there. We'll kind of fast travel essentially. So you'd rest up on your way back. You could even probably find, because you're using Adderward's mapping technique. I keep
Who's?
saying Adderward, I mean Willoughby.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Who's this
feel it.
mysterious penguin man? I want to meet him.
I feel
It's,
it.
I practically
You do.
call him in real life Adderward now. So
Have you heard the tale of Adelwood?
you would follow Willoughby's mapping technique, and you can see like you find your way back to the kind of familiar pond as well, and like kind of sleep in safety. You may be able to make your way all the way to the kind of town located at the bottom of the Great Lift itself, underneath the rocks. You can see various kind of chrysalis and cocoons even hanging from trees as you go by, woven and actually like fixated now. A couple of guards wander by. They kind of eye you and bow their heads to you, recognizing you as you head into this campsite. But they try and guard, checking in on all of the different cocoons whenever they can. When you pass in, you can see the place has changed since last you were here in terms of people are now clearing up and kind of readying themselves for basically the children's return. And it's become more like less of a festival now, more just a kind of a traditional village. And all of the dark elves are walking around, adults and kind of younger adults, but no youngling. Maybe some very, very small sprouts of just like very small being carried, like these very kind of grub-like tiny ones, but nothing in the kind of the younger range as they're all kind of maintaining their cocoons. One of the adults steps over towards all of you and kind of bows their head. Are you here to see the leader?
Yes, Lindville, right?
That is correct.
Can we talk to her?
Of course. And he kind of leads you through the camp.
As they're leading us, can I just whisper, did you all you've not been back here to tell them that you dealt with that spooky death raven, right? The one that was stealing all their kids?
Two big pieces of news.
Okay, I was going to say, maybe you should let them know that they don't have to worry about their kids being stolen by the death raven anymore.
That's right. We could lead with that. That's like, yeah.
It's like a good thing, you know?
You kind of step through into like the tree, the open, hollowed out tree where you met her before. And you can see her, she's sat in a chair. And she's just kind of cradling a very, very young dark elf. They're kind of almost essentially just like the size of like a bit larger than a stress ball, maybe the size of like a couple of tennis balls, but furry as hell. And you can just see the eyes coming out between these two little yellow eyes. Just cradling it. Oh, and just rest it down in a small little kind of nest that she's made. How did you fare?
Well, 2 bits of good news, I think.
Yes?
The Nut Ravnin, it was actually real, but it's dead, so that's good, right?
That's... You didn't just kill a random...
No, it was really big, and it had ravens like the size of dogs as well with it. Those are dead too.
That
it was
is
really
amazing
big.
News. If that is true, then we owe many children apologies. We'd never believed any of those rumors.
Do you know, we talked to a little girl. Oh, shit. I don't know if I wrote her name down, but I'll describe the little girl. Yeah, she told us everything about it, so she should, I don't know, maybe give her like a little medal or something, because then we knew exactly what to look for. She was really smart looking after her brother.
Well, I will speak to her. That is, we lose young each time during the Cocoon Festival. To think of it actually as a horrifying creature we didn't believe to be real. With that, Ma, thanks for that. I wish we had something to give you. You are welcome here always.
Thank you. And then the second part, the darkness is dealt with.
Dealt with? It is fading.
It should be. Was it like fading or did it fade?
Yeah, it was fading.
Like, okay, yeah.
Slowed against
yeah.
more. Then I have to thank you twice. You've alleviated 2 worries, one we didn't even realize we had. Or we didn't realize we could solve. Thanks. Any time.
So we're double welcome. Now when we come, you're gonna throw a party for us.
If it is what you wish, then next time we come, we'll throw a party in your honor. Come on by in a few weeks if you ever can. That's when their cocoons will break. It's a beautiful,
really
beautiful moment.
Cool. We're glad that we could help. I'd like to stay, but we need to go. We need to take the lift back to Ale so we can let them know that the darkness is fading, because they won't know either.
At the very least, take some of these. She calls in a guard. If you could give them cloaks and claws. You see, as he bows his head, comes in moments later with a series of these kind of wrapped cloaks. They're almost like furry, kind of green. It's almost like mossy kind of cloak that kind of goes down, quite warm and insulated on the inside. You can see it's all kind of got silk on the inside. It's made of pure silk, moth silk. And then also, for any of you warriors, you're offered essentially a claw weapon for your arms. They are a 1d6, basically a short sword, but it's kind of almost like imagine like a Wolverine claw, but for each hand. In case any of you would want them. These are some of our fun.
What proficiency would you need for that?
It would be, I would say, just if you had simple weapons.
I will take it.
Absolutely. Thank you so kindly.
Juno politely declines.
Well, our thanks to you all.
Guru collects weapons.
Of course, we are glad that we could help.
And my thanks. Any of you are welcome to stay for the ceremony, though I imagine you're quite busy.
Question. Would we have... What about the light elves we freed? Did we bring them with us? Like,
Sorry,
are they
we
trailing
didn't really
behind?
describe that. Yeah, they would have been staying with you as well and kind of
Okay.
keeping to themselves and quietly discussing during
Yeah.
it. We kind of got over the shot, yeah. Half a dozen of them and whatnot would have came with you. They spent a lot of time to themselves, but anytime they grab food, they'd always try and share it with you and they'd be very thankful. And Willoughby, you'd notice they continuously thank you, like overly so. They're very grateful. See you as kind of a hero of them. They would have had some disdain as you brought them in, but I think this campsite would have recognized that there's refugees running from this.
If it would not be an issue for the rest of you, I would actually like to stay.
Oh.
And witness this ceremony.
Oh, all right.
It's not for a couple of weeks. Yeah, you can come back later.
Well, I think it'd be important to make sure that some rebuilding may need to be done. They may need
That's a
some
good
help over
point.
the next couple of weeks. It'd be good to
Well,
stay
we
behind and help.
did agree to take you with us, so I'm going to need some kind of written thing or something to give Balder to confirm that
Yeah,
we didn't
can we
just
give him
off
a
you and dump you in
message?
the woods.
Yeah,
Oh,
that you're
yeah.
okay. Like, do you have a
Yes, of
code word or
course.
something?
Absolutely. Their page, I'll write a little note like, I'm fine, they're great, thanks for everything. And then I slash my hand and then just slap the blood on the piece of paper.
Yeah,
Okay.
that seems really official. I think you'll definitely.
Yeah, we couldn't
believe
do that if you were dead.
Okay.
It's definitely not something we could do with a dead body if we
Well,
killed you
no,
and
but
dumped
like
you in the
you'd have to
woods.
be able to like
Well,
forge his handwriting really good too,
Well,
right?
you know how
Yeah, that's
if
the main thing.
Balder is and his almighty power. I'm sure he can tell it's from a living entity and not a dead one.
Also, we did just do it in front of Linville, and she can say that you are alive here, and he could
That
just send
is
a
true.
message too.
That is true.
You are more than welcome to stay. We would appreciate your help. And you can help us
I-
come up with a way of rewarding all of you.
Wait,
fact-
what?
We might have a reward, though it is something that you'd have to share. Could you get the chest? And you see the guard looks across and... Are you sure, Matriarch? They've protected our youth. And looks across all of you. The guard slips out, comes back in with a small, almost jewelry box, and opens it up as a singular sun fruit. It's a great offering to give these out to a gift for a god. We were saving it for the next time Frey came through, but we think it would be better in the hands of those who are actively helping us. I apologize there is not one for each. It is extremely rare for us.
Does Frey come by often? When's the last time he came by?
We do not provide many fruit, so we usually try to collect one for the ceremony to help trying to protect our young. However, with the news you have brought, perhaps we do not need protection this time round. He's infrequent in his visits to us.
I'm sure the forest still has dangers.
Should
It
keep
wouldn't
it.
hurt to continue protecting them.
If you're sure.
I-
This is the finest gift we could give you, but
I mean, I would take the fruit. I don't know if they have much more to worry about.
I have a question. Can Willoughby use the spell plant growth to make this plant grow into more fruits?
I would say, what spell level was plant growth?
I'll put it out here because there's technically an 8-hour cast version that allows it to enrich plants and double their yield.
I would say with plant growth, you'd have to expend a higher spell slot for this. This is kind of a godly plant. It's closer to a magical item, so it wouldn't kind of fall under just traditional plants, if you will. This would be something that you might be able to grow later into the game.
Well, if that's something that Willoughby clocks now, I think Willoughby would want to take it and just cover. Perhaps in time we will return it back to you. I think I may be able to make more of these.
I think it is a great gesture to offer it, and I would feel rude not to take it. And if I'm confident my good friend Willoughby is clever enough to do, he seems very powerful and can do something clever with it.
Why don't we just eat it? They have a tree.
Well, I was going to ask, do we know what, can you tell us what effect it would have? And if we were to share it, do you know what that would mean? Like, do you know what would happen?
I'm
How
not
many
sure.
other fruits do you
But-
have?
but- Of sunfruit?
Yeah,
I think you misunderstand. To get a sunfruit, we have to send our finest climbers to
that's what I
climb
meant.
the great trees. It is to get a scout to see one of the fruit before any
They
of the
only
light
have
elves
this
or
one.
any other dark elves. This is the only one we get. We get one maybe every, I would say, 7 years.
Can Guru hold the fruit?
Yeah, she's offered it out.
I stare at it for a minute. Casting identify to figure out any magical properties it has.
Yeah. Consuming a sunfruit, for those of dark elves, it makes you essentially more attuned to the light. It can remove sunlight sensitivity from you permanently. It can kind of allow your body and your kind of form to change and become more alluring. And it would permanently
Nice.
increase charisma by 1. But you can only ever do that once.
It's only one person for the fruit, correct?
Yes.
But
it
if
can
we
go
were to
beyond
share it,
20
we
with
would.
that.
Yeah, but if we were to share it, we wouldn't get those abilities. It would just be a.
Yeah, it would just be a snack. Yeah.
Be a one
You have to
person
consume
gets
for
it.
one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as like a above board mechanical thing, and as far as Willoughby's concerned, it makes more sense to hang on to it and try to make
Yeah,
more of them.
I think
than...
Vindril, Willoughby is very good. And if he thinks that he can make more, it would be very nice for
Right.
us to take it and to try to make more.
Can I toss an above board thought that Guru would want to do? And obviously it's whatever you guys would like.
Yes.
Guru, I think knowing this, would probably request that this leader, instead of us being gifted the fruit, he would want to gift it back and said, well, I would wish for you to partake in this. In Guru's mind, he wants them to be able to protect themselves and not rely on Frey, who's so infrequent. But it's a party reward. I don't want to take that away from you.
I appreciate the gesture. We know that the sun fruit will allow us to become light elves. We know that the magic within it will change our form, and I'm not looking for that. For us, the sun fruit is a means to granting favors from Frey. We are perfect as we are. We need not the magic of the gods to change us.
I like Juno's like nodding, like, yep, love that, big fan of that sentiment, and is like, mm-hmm.
Very well then. And then he would hand the fruit to Willoughby.
Then I think we should gratefully
Sure.
accept this gift.
Yeah, thank you.
Willoughby will just stash it in his chest cavity where he stashes most of his other garbage.
Just like stuff rattling in there.
My thanks.
Like a pen.
Feel free to stay as long as you like. I'll be here. And she kind of gestures for you to leave. Giving you a chance
Alright.
to say your goodbyes to Guru.
So, like, you're just going to stay here?
That
and
makes sense.
Be part of the festival? That's a good idea.
A little
Lots-
bit. These elves have been through quite an ordeal. And while, selfishly, I would enjoy to see the festival, it's probably important that one of us assists in the recovery of what they've all been through.
That's a good idea.
He'll smirk, following up with that. Give my regards to Balder. I'm sure that this won't be our last meeting.
Wait, why are you saying it like that? Do you mean like, oh, give my regards to Balder, I like him? Or you mean
Are
like,
you and Balder
give my-
good?
Yeah, like, are you friends, actually? Was he like, what is going on?
We have an understanding.
So you're
I-
not friends.
I imagine that Guru's relationship with Balder is much like how we've approached things, where Balder seems to be a good one of the bunch, but they are still gods, and gods are not always the most trustworthy of people.
You know my thoughts.
I think
on
so.
Those of gods. But I suppose Balder is a little more responsible with the toy box.
There are some. Balder, Hecate, Athena. I think that there are some who are trustworthy.
As long as they're able to prove that trust
Mm.
and not demand it so blithely. Here I go again. It was a pleasure to meet each and every one of you. And I hope very soon we shall cross paths again.
I look forward to reading your finished book, Guru.
Yeah, do you have your stuff with you this time? You're not going to leave any heads on the ground or any journals on the ground?
I
You're gonna
believe
find
I've
them.
got everything, but I'm a bit scatterbrained. Something might fall out of my bag and I may not know. Damn the fates, as he looks up in the sky.
Okay. Well, Juno will shake Guru's hand if we're all heading out.
Okay.
Fair travels, my friends.
Yeah, fair travels.
Till the next time we meet.
And the lift awaits. Each of you to journey
Excuse
up
me.
towards it. Travel above the branches. Make your way back towards Ale. And beneath the roots, down in the shadowy area, wearing your headphones of Acorn to stop the vibrations.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Many
we
of the
had those.
dark elves, yeah. Many of the dark elves gather around and begin questioning Guru, asking about the travels, asking as things start to spread from that one guard about the party which came through and saved the future of this village. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode. Thank you everyone for playing as per
Hey.
usual. Thank you Brett
Nice.
for guest starring.
Thank you,
Guru
Brett.
will be
Hey,
back.
village.
Yeah, we guest starring is never going to be a thing where you'll never see him again. Guru was
Guru
Unless he
will be
dies.
back in the end game.
yeah, Guru will be back.
Dun, 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 dun.
Holding up the wand he took from the party. Woo!
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
He comes back, he's like
Dude.
linked arms with like a three-headed giant. Like, I got married!
Honestly,
It's an
one
absolute delight.
one less riddle that we have to try and figure out. I'm okay with it. You
Oh,
know.
Guru's gonna brute force the riddle. He's not.
Nice. Good.
Everywhere he goes now, do you know any three-headed giants?
Well,
Hey,
and
man,
that,
do you know
and
any?
that's why he said Guru hates riddles. It's the stupidest thing in the world. So when that popped up, that's why he was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Like, He is just he's gonna brute force it as hard in any ways possible.
Yeah.
Which is why he cut off his
Skerner's head.
Skerner's head. Oh, he's like, surely he'll have the answer.
Yeah, you just disturb him every day until you get it.
Wake up. Do you want to tell me the answer yet?
Let's do some shout outs so we can get Mark to bed. Let's go ahead and give Gabe to begin.
Gabe X, Gabe James Games. I do things.
Cool.
He does cool things.
Sure, he does cool
cool
things.
TTRPG things. Follow this man. He's amazing.
He's wonderful.
Don't do that.
Follow Marines.
No,
There.
he's a liar.
Go follow him now.
Brizzy.
Brizzy Voices. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube.
And you're playing
Awesome.
through Hades right
Follow
now, aren't
Brizzy.
you? Brizzy
I
messaged
just
me.
finished. I just got the credits.
Oh, did you? Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a good feeling.
Hell
Such a good
yeah,
feeling.
bro.
Brizzy messaged me about the announcement for Hades 2 and was like hyped as hell because it's the second time now in this campaign that Brizzy's had something that's like linked to the campaign. Because
Yeah.
Hades 2, one of the major characters is Hecate, and that's like Brizzy's
As
major
we
character.
saw it, we were just like,
Yeah.
oh, Brizzy's going to lose
Yeah.
her fight. Ah!
It's so good.
Literally the first person I thought of when I saw the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I was just
It's
like,
now you're
ah.
forever associated with Hecate.
And just the
Tomato.
fact that she's got such witchy vibes as well. It feels like such a
Yeah.
Brizzy design for the character. I don't know.
Yes, yeah, like my background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's so cute.
Tomato.
Oh, I did. I was just mumbling it behind my mouth while you guys continue to talk over my.
Doing the extra
All right.
I'm so sorry. that was
Twitch.tv/Tomato.
really rude. We're sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you know where to find him. He plays games. Brett.
Twitch.tv, Brett Ultimus, Twitter, Brett Ultimus, World of IO on YouTube for D&D shenanigans. I currently am running 4 games. I almost said 3. 4 games, Tuesdays,
you are.
Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And 2 of them actually have Tomato and Joe as well. And their games or seasons, or rather their story arcs are wrapping up this
Yeah.
month. So watch as
Some
I...
wild shit just went down, so you should definitely go and watch.
Yeah. Well, watch as I slowly descend into madness while I keep everything balanced on a spinning plate.
Sure. It's been a delight, man. Thanks so much for playing with us. I really do
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
you
you
coming
for
by.
having
me.
We'll have you back anytime.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that'd be great. Chrissy, OG.
What's up? I'm OLG. I don't really stream shit. I don't know. I tweet stuff. Me and Joe just started watching Alone. I finally convinced him to watch it. When I say finally, I mean it was the first time I actually asked him. I was like, hey, do you want to watch this with me? And he was like, yeah. And so now we're super hooked on that. So I probably will be tweeting stuff about that. So if you like Alone and listening to, reading someone react to reality shows, that's me.
Cool. Making a podcast. Mark.
We're gonna make a podcast. God damn it! We keep saying it. We're gonna do it. Just
Not
don't-
alone, it'll be called.
It's gonna be soon. So
Soon.
keep an eye out for it. It's gonna be soon. We're gonna do it.
I'll subscribe.
Mark.
I'll subscribe.
Hello, you can find me Sherlock Humes. It's got an underscore in it somewhere sometimes, and then sometimes it doesn't. It's a riddle. Figure out which one.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
High Rollers D&D. That's my D&D show. We play on Sundays, 5 till 8 UK time. It's just before Godforged. D&D Sunday. Watch High Rollers then. Watch Godforged. Win-win. Everyone has a great time. That's it. Thanks very much. Go to Tiltify, Jingle
Yes.
Jam. Search for those things. $35 gets you $1,000 worth of games, and it all goes towards charity. It's an amazing deal. They've nearly raised it's nearly £3 million or
Jesus
$3 million or
Christ.
something.
That's awesome.
And it's
Great.
like 10 days in. It's like 20 more days
So
or some
impressive.
crazy nonsense.
So impressive.
I think the High Rollers guys are doing something on Sunday. If I'm miraculously better, I'll be doing it. It'll be
believe
a
in you.
Christmas.
You'll be
It'll be a
better.
Christmas one shot. I've based it on the
cool.
Coca-Cola trucks. If I'm
Amazing.
better, then I'm gonna give it to them to DM, and apparently they're gonna do like a DM swap thing where like one of you
Amazing.
Oh, that's
girls
so
are gonna swap
fun.
around.
That's so fun.
Well, something fun will happen regardless, so go and check it
Yes.
out. Thank you, Sarosin, in chat for linking. Thank you, because I never remember it. Jinglejam.tiltify.com. $35, $1,000 worth of games.
Deal, man.
Chill, complete.
No, yeah, great cause. and then twitch.tv/JFudge. If you can find me on this channel. We have a Patreon, ! Patreon, if you want to see behind the scenes stuff and any of the notes behind the show. And then also we have a Discord if you want to go and discuss the show. And on Sundays, I play a game called Godforge. I run a game called Godforge every Sunday. And right now, the cool thing about Godforge is I'm exploring the fun of public domain using Alice in Wonderland stuff to create a pretty fun Feywild adventure. So come by and
If you haven't seen Godforged, but you have seen Mistletoe, and you're like, who the fuck is Adelward?
yeah, I keep saying Adelward.
Check
It's
out
true.
Godforged, you guys.
No, this is intentional. Joe is trying to set like, because who's Saddleward? Get the T-shirt, you know? Because you're like, well, what is this? Yeah, you're gonna have to go to Godforge and find out.
Yeah,
He's a multi-planar being at this point. He's
true.
right.
He's been all over,
You guys don't know the twist that he actually messaged me before the show and said this is just his origin story.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks everyone for playing. I appreciate it. And we'll see you all next week. Take care.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.